kids. Cause I was like, okay, we get on at 4. They went to like some petting zoo or some shit. Some shit they went to.
Yeah. It's a broadcast. It's a broadcast. It's a broadcast, yeah. They should subscribe, tell a friend, to tell a friend. DJ Ham about to go live again. So hit the likes, my friend, on your way in. First off, salute the chat. And to all new cousins, welcome back. Heard you searching for the real, well, this is where it's at. The latest topics and panels and brother, don't get sent to the bathroom. We got all the stats, too, back to facts in the morning or the afternoon. Tuesday, women's POV, 2 Fridays, dancing, jamming tune. It's a community of real, and we better than the world news. This might be risky, I hope you know. This might be risky, let's go, let's go. This might be risky, no, I love you, real, I love it. This might be risky. Salute to DJ Hamp, it's time to start the show. Salute to DJ Hamp, it's time to start the show.
Yep. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps your channel the most, man. DJ Hampton stands. P. Sean Antonio. Safe space shot.
Sir, nigga. No more say.
Building, man. What's popping?
Yo.
Man.
He's trying. Every time.
Man, great productive week, man.
Oh shit! I'm getting a FaceTime call. Hold on. My bad. Is it fucking my shit up?
Nah.
Oh, just ended.
My bad.
That's what it is.
Hey, I just want to say real quick, on behalf of all the TMBR panelists, right? Y'all know the head honcho. When you late for the show, he gonna let you know you late. So I want y'all to know, on behalf of Safe Space Shot, y'all got a 30-minute credit, right? Y'all can use it. Y'all can hit me up. You want to use the credit? But I was here at 5. I was here at 4:58, locked and loaded. I just want y'all to know, man. You know, sometimes the head honcho, you know, things happen. But y'all got a credit on behalf of me, man. Community service.
Great. You don't got nothing else better to do?
Hey, not today, actually. I ain't did nothing with my life today. Last night, I had another screening.
How'd it go?
Pretty dope. It went really well. I had a family friend. He's kind of like an uncle to me, man. Him and my dad are real cool. He put it together for me and brought his crew out. He used to do film like back in the day. So he like made a shot. I'm gonna live through you, man. I'm gonna support you. So that was a blessing to have him do that for me, man. So went really well. The film was really received. We talked about the new project. They're excited about the new project. So man, I'm blessed. I'm working. It's time to work. That's it.
That's it, man.
Yep.
Shit like
That's
shit.
it.
I mean, damn, man. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Let me see in the chat real quick. E-Dub, American Tradesman, Sean Shaw, Riri was popping. The Majesty in the building. No Country for Old Simps. We see you. Was goody. Zeke Shalawam. Great job at Bible study, brethren. Great job, man. You, Bino, Shaw. Who else participated well? Dr. G, Blaze. Yeah, man. Y'all cooked it up today. Salute. Jay Miller was popping. Impress putting in work. That's always a blessing. Let's get it, man. Hit the like button. We got Keisha in the building. Was goody. So what? This I ain't seen you in a long time. Was goody. Boot camp was popping. Good to see you. Uno was good.
Uno.
What?
Look at me. Shut up.
Another bell was good, man. Salute to the 50 people in the building, man. Please hit the like button if you can. That helps the channel the most. So far, we have 25 likes and we have 50 people in the building. Let's go ahead and make sure the likes match the viewership. Let's see if we can hit this goal in an acute amount of time, man. You know what I mean? Hold on 1 second. Damn, man. My nose busted. Shit, I feel like
Y'all drinking tonight? I'm on drinking tonight. Okay.
Dede!
That ain't normal.
Bring me that black bottle.
I'm drinking tea like a motherfucker. Damn, okay.
I feel you. It is weather change, bro.
But I mean, I can be influenced. Let me go grab this bottle.
Can't believe that. That ain't normal.
What's good, fellas? The dating game: foundations, expectations, and miscalculations.
Yes, sir.
Heather, what up? Quincy, what up? Frank, what up? What you think? Thank you. Can bring me one of those glasses. What we doing, man? I'm trying to understand this, man.
I got you. I got
Expectations,
you.
foundations, and miscalculations.
So it's a few things that inspired this topic for me. Two things that happened in TMBR. Am I sound good because the wind blowing crazy and shit like that? It was a conversation that Strada was having with everybody when he asked, has anybody moved from their original positions on, marriage, love, all those types of things? And for the most part, it was either silence, and I think it was a no. So that was the first thing. Then the second thing, I thought about an old conversation with Big C's and the Michelle Obama thing where she brought up how she wasn't feeling Barack for 10 years. And so I was thinking, trying to understand, and from the male point of view, we intend for some women to come up and kind of give us the other side of the game, but from the male point of view, trying to understand how do we create our concepts around what relationships look like, what marriage looks like, how the dating game should be played. I think oftentimes, like two things happen. We have like analysis paralysis where we just talk about the stats. We never can really dig into like people's individual perspectives and how they move. They're either speaking vicariously through somebody else. It's not their experience. They're talking for somebody else. So I don't find a lot of value in there for me personally. And I knew you fellas would kind of take this ride with me so we can really kind of like take a deep dive into understanding kind of like when we were little tights, little boys, you know what I mean? Going from video games to focusing on girls. How are our concepts? How do we conceptualize relationships, dating, marriage, all of these different things, just dealing with women in general? How did our beginning start? That was the idea I was thinking, because I don't know if I've heard a group of men kind of break it down from the source. I'm a filmmaker, I'm a screenwriter, I'm a storyteller. I like but get them in the end. So for instance, you and Sean have been married. So for most people, they would say that's the end. But there's a journey before we got there. When we first got game, we didn't have game, to where we are now. It's 30 plus men. So I want to like have that conversation with y'all to see where we align, to see, where we differ.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, you on mute, help.
Nah, I said it makes sense. I'm trying to think like what was the beginning of this shit? I don't know. It's like my friends who was ahead of me, like kind of set the bar or the tone. Know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
they started messing with the chicks first. That's kind of like how we navigated this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was no cues from like my dad and them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like we like y'all niggas is old as hell. And my older brother a little bit, but he got married. His second year of college.
Oh, what?
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Oh
like
wow.
he don't even say bad words. Like he just like you know what
He
I'm
the good
saying?
guy.
Like
He the
quirky
good
kind of. So one thing I did, all we focused on was how to get access,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whether it be sex or relationship. And then we try to do the things that to maintain that access. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
we ever been taught how to be treated.
Hmm.
Like ever. Even if you talking to your father or whomever, yo, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you open the door? Right? It's always did you? Even Kaloja though, right? So in the
Mm-hmm.
Bronx Tale, Sonny was telling him what to do to get her. He just said one thing though, right? If she reach
Mm-hmm.
across and open that door, that's how you know she got some type of she like you,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
right? But it kind
Right.
of stopped there.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't know how to navigate and almost articulate how we want to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
you know. But I can't really think because it was mostly about sex, you
So,
know.
Hemp, I'm glad you said that because and I'll Sean. Do you want to go, Sean? I can go.
No,
Is
no,
your,
no. I go after this.
because I would argue him. That's the majority of men's origin story, right? So, like I said, I was 12 years old. Man, I was focused on basketball. I was outside at night working on free throws, working on that, 3, 2, 1. And then I had homies who was 16, 17 having sex. And so we talking, they like, Shy, you ain't having sex yet? And I'm like, nah, man, you must be gay. And I'm like, nah, I'm just video games and basketball is like where my focus is. I mean, I see girls, I had crushes on girls, but it was never a focus. And then I got that first piece of cat and it just sent me on a mission. And like you said, you grew up, which is interesting, you said you grew up with a mom and a dad in the home. Because I always say real quick, I think there are like 4 things I would think increases your chance of having a successful marriage. One is like having the 2 parents set up. And then 2, actually seeing them go through the ebbs and flows of relationship. I think 3, you also need instruction. You need dad or mom every once in a while come in your room like, hey, you saw how me and your mom had that argument? You saw how we worked through that? That's going to be something you're going to face one day. And then you need a woman who kind of has a similar situation. But I think, unfortunately, most of us don't have that type of setup.
Yeah, and
We out here
parents don't
freestyle.
yeah,
Yep.
and with the
Yep.
setup, the parents don't do that shit anyway.
Right.
Right? They argue, you
Right.
mind your business, right? You a kid, you
Right.
stay in the child's place and shit like that,
Yep.
right? Because
Yep.
there's a lot of concepts that arguments manifest from that we don't
Mm-hmm.
understand at that age either. Like we don't
Mm-hmm.
understand money, finances, right? Like right
Mm-hmm.
now, when my daughter's like 4 or 5, right? So they get it, right? My other daughter, she's 7, right? So she gets it more, but she'll still trade me one $5 bill for 3 $1 bills, right?
Yeah.
So, and she pretty sharp, but there's a lot of things that the parents don't even involve the kids in, right?
Yep.
They try to
Yep.
hide those things as much as possible, but
Yep.
volatility it's impossible to hide to 100%.
Right.
So yeah, I think marriage made sense to you because your parents are married, but the
Mm-hmm.
why behind why you want to get married is probably actually more cloudy than people would admit.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yep.
Man,
thinking hard. I'm trying to figure it out.
man, mine came from my uncles. Man, we ain't had no daddies around, so mine came from my uncles. It's one of my uncles, right? Kenny, rest in peace, Big Kenny. So it came from. He was a pimp. He was a pimp. He was a drug dealer. All that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So I can remember like 2nd grade, him showing me how to use beam, shit like that, and he was pimping and selling. You know what I'm saying? Hustling. So I was always taught that, from my uncles that women was come a dime a dozen. Literally, they said bitches come a dime a dozen and I got $1.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's what I was taught. So women was just some you access, they was disposable. Nobody in my family was married. You know what I'm saying? So I never had that foundation. You know what I'm saying? The dads wasn't with the baby mamas type shit. So it was always just, man, get access, run them numbers up. And that's really it. And so that's what I was taught.
So, Sean, you said you didn't have a foundation, but you did. It wasn't the ideal foundation for a marriage setup,
Mm-hmm.
but I think the majority of, I'm gonna say, black boys born Sean, you born in like the early 80s, me and him born in like the later 80s, right?
I'm born in 78.
Oh shit, my bad, OG. My bad, OG. My bad, OG.
85.
But I would say the majority of like young boys born in the 80s, that was our play, right? Hip hop taught us, bros before hoes, money over hoes, you know what I mean? Like the bling bling era, like it was, and then we still had a little bit of that baby face. I remember riding in the back seat of the crib and the moon and the stars. I remember that, but it wasn't, you know what I mean? When I was in college, we would listen to Trey Songz, Mr. Steal Your Girl, and all them guys. Usher, all that shit, Confessions, he cheating and shit. So I think we did have a foundation. It just wasn't a foundation that set us up for like long-term commitment.
Yeah.
This is it right here. This the summary.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
That's it.
That's the bricks. That's the brick to the foundation right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's it,
Mm-hmm.
yo. So
Yeah.
we was never taught to respect women ever. Like not to. It was never to like value her. She's a delicate flower. Never that type of shit. It was literally bitches get money.
So,
Okay.
so I would
Mine
say
is
that.
okay. My
So
bad. My bad.
yeah,
My bad.
I would say that. My bad shot. Ours was kind of a little bit different.
Yeah,
Like
mine
we
was
just
different too.
like yeah, like yo, we used to get flowers and shit and all that, right? But the end goal for me a little bit, it actually a little bit came later that the end goal was just for sex. But the all of my friends, their end goal was get the flowers, treat her nice to get the pussy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause Sean, you born in '78. I feel like y'all did this too, right? Cause I made a joke in the disco one time. I said, bro, we was the most romantic kids in the fucking world. Sean, we used to call the radio station and like, give a girl, like dedicate a song to a girl.
Yeah.
We used to write love notes. And I remember like maybe in college, a chick I was messing with still had like all the love letters from like high school, like middle school. It's like dudes are writing like, my love forever. Like, bro, and it was, well, I guess what I'm saying, it was some bullshit, but it just came off so smooth. I don't know what inspired us to talk like that and be so poetic with women, but it was bullshit. It, you know what I mean? Hell, like it wasn't nothing we really was committed to. It's just like we said whatever we need to say to keep that thing going until we was like, what's next?
Socially,
What's next?
we learned that from each other. So socially, yeah, I learned that from from the homies. Like this, how you supposed to, what I'm saying, finesse the situation and all that type of shit. But like, yeah, like no parent or nothing like that. But yeah, just socially, yeah, I was a note writing motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Leaving a note in their desk in school, all that type of shit. But yeah, bro, parents. Even my mama was gangster, man. You know what I'm saying? It's my OG with a square in her mouth holding my brother. You know what I'm saying? My mama, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Shout out to my Dukes, man.
right. Shout out to my.
Yo, that shit still work. Hold on, I'm trying to see if I can find this shit. Hold on. Back when I was outside, I used to use this shit all the time, son. Hold on. Damn, I can't find it. I can't find it. So what's your overarching concern, Shah?
I think that, man, like a lot of these conversations we have, we don't point the finger at these niggas. Y'all hear them niggas dumping? God damn. They just dumping out here. We don't point the finger at ourselves enough and do a real self-assessment of how we got here. I think it's a more entertaining conversation to do the salacious thing and talk about how horrible women are from the male's perspective. And then the women do the same thing. They talk about how horrible the men are. But I don't think we really admit and accept that, man, we created this environment and really break down how we could potentially reverse it if possible.
How we got where though, Sean? I mean,
It is
Shah.
where what Sean said, for instance, and I let Sean introduce this concept with the whole idea like soft prostitution, where women like, we blame it on shit like feminism and stuff like that, right? Or men to talk about how bad women are. And I'm thinking, for instance, what we just talked about, right? Let's say from age 18 to 25, most men were operating like the way we operated, right? We was smashing them. They was in love for a month and then they got replaced. They had to put their drawers on, get back in the field, look for another man to hopefully do something different. So another nigga, same process. It was good for 3 months. I done hit them a couple of times. Now they back outside again. We conditioned each other to kind of what you say, be whores and whoremongers. Now everybody's 30. Now we criticizing each other about how bad it is, and we're not doing a real assessment of what we created. We created this environment. We all of us created this environment we in. And it ain't happen by happenstance.
It's a twofold thing, right? It's a twofold thing. The keeps it 100. Reese, Favors, Devin, Travel One, Salute, Samuel, Shalom. They've been taught to use what they got to get what they want, right? And we been taught to get what they got. You see? So these things actually marry but they our trajectories in the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm.
Because now when we want something more, she don't use what she got to get what she want too much. Coupled
Right.
with the fact that we did what we had to do to get what they got. And now
Right.
when we want to settle down and do the right thing, she got too many bodies. She got too many
Yep.
goats, right?
Yep.
You don't trust shit, and her pussy don't do enough for you because you had too much pussy already, right? So
Facts.
now you
Facts.
damn near desensitized to sex, and you need more than maybe what you should, or you got so much experience that one person can't quench that thirst.
Right.
So now
Right.
we hell in a handbasket,
Right.
you know?
And so that's why I said so we talked like kind of what the foundation is. So then the expectation and the miscalculation part comes in. And so if I speak specifically about expectations, right? So like if I know me personally, I've said I didn't have to lie to navigate the terrain and operate the way I operated. But regardless if I lied or not, it was just a lot of casual sex and casual dating that didn't end in anything committed. And so again, it's hundreds of guys just like me. We training each other, the men, because we don't, somebody in the chat said we hold each other accountable. But if I'm not, if I tell my home I'm smashing all these women, as long as I'm not lying, they're not going, hey, Shy, well, I know you're only 25, but man, maybe you should start really thinking about settling down and finding a wife. Nobody's talking like that to us.
Yeah.
We do it now. We doing it now.
Yeah. At 40,
Yeah.
when like they say, right? Like the younger brothers say it's easy for y'all to say it now because you had your fill,
Mm-hmm.
right? They refuse to accept the fact that this is actually being reflective and understanding the actual outcomes as a 39-year-old man, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the things that you deal with in your relationships because of your conduct in your younger years,
Mm-hmm.
right? You had to, like, as a DJ, right? Right? Then you get married. You got to fucking fight to make it inside
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
because you ain't never had to make it inside before.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And just even like how, like, so, like, you know what I mean? And then even like casually, how women will conduct themselves, and it's not negative, right? So they'll be conversing, hi, bye, accepting drinks, taking it, right, just being out in the earth.
Mm-hmm.
But now you got a boyfriend, you got a husband, you got a man. That shit gotta cease.
Right.
And people like, well, ain't nothing wrong with it. Well, if you gotta have that conversation, then there's something wrong, right? Which is why it's a
Right.
conversation in the first place. So it's a whole
Right.
lot to go into it, but motherfuckers say, shut up, nigga. You still got married. You know what I
Mm.
mean? It's
Right.
hard to convey it, you
Right.
know?
Right. You're a superhero in some aspects.
Yeah, like that's what it's chalked up to that, so we can continue to do what we've always done.
Yeah, y'all made some good points. Shad, I
Damn, I'm
think
talking a lot.
maybe to build on what you said, and I don't know. I think maybe I came to the same conclusion that men are the reason why it's like this, but my reason may be a little different. I think it's specifically the men that's willing to spend money. Specifically, I
Okay.
think, I think, I think that's it, right? Because if they never thought that they could get shit from niggas, then they never would be trying to get shit from niggas. We wouldn't be in this place of soft prostitution. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel that.
What
Yeah.
you mean?
I feel that.
So say for instance, the chicks that you ain't gonna be no bare minimum, nigga. The chicks that a nigga gotta pay 100% and fund their lifestyle. It's only because niggas are willing to fund their lifestyle that they think that. You know what I'm saying? And then that makes the other chicks who ain't qualified think that they should get their lifestyle funded too. And like, yeah, you ain't that don't apply to you. Get your ass out of this line. You ain't getting this stimulus check. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So look, so they see all the insta hoes that's flying everywhere. They see making sure that we see the RR behind their head in the car. You know what I'm saying? They making sure we see that, knowing that they didn't have to suck and fuck their way to get that. And so now it becomes aspirational for the lesser women. And now they think that they can require shit, and it's like, I never even took you on a date. And now you think you're gonna get your bills paid, but it's niggas that's willing to pay their bills and shit. So now it makes everybody in the system think that they should get something transactional. instead of just being a regular chick and finding a nigga that actually wants to be with them.
Do you think that's the majority of the women that land on this? I deem my life funded to an extent.
No, it's not the majority.
Well, let me say this,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
Even one of the it's my man. So Mr. Fantastic said, right? If you with a woman, you still need to pay 70% of the bills.
Yeah,
That's what he said to maintain the status quo that you want.
okay. And I see yeah. Okay. I get that. I don't believe in that. I just don't.
Okay.
Now when we're married, once again, married, I think it's just one pool of money, no matter how many different accounts it's in. But that conversation about paying bills it's the single people having that conversation. It's the women that think that at a certain point, once you start having sex with them, you got to start financing their lives. And I vehemently disagree with that. That's called prostitution. That's what that's called. It's not called nothing else. If you're exchanging your vagina in hopes that a nigga is paying for shit, that's soft prostitution. It ain't nothing else.
Mm.
Have you know what's interesting? I found this stat out earlier this year. They said that the largest block of OnlyFans supporters are married men.
Mm-hmm. That makes
That's
sense.
but and that's kind of like the conundrum. Like I said, as men, we got to be like, all right, whatever you want to say, simple, whatever. But again, I don't think humans are sophisticated enough to see past these types of things, and it influences behavior. So, we hold married people in high regard, married men, and then we find out that they're the ones that's kind of stimulating the OnlyFans economy for whatever reason. If it's because they girl who the real woman they got in the house ain't giving her none, so they showing the girl love on the internet. But it's something that we have to have a serious discussion about, right? Because we can keep talking shit about women, but then in another conversation we'll say, women are survivors. If we are village and the men came and killed all the men, they're gonna go with the biggest balls. We acknowledge that about women. We acknowledge the behavior that they have, right? And then in the same breath, well, not the same breath, but we find out that we also kind of support these habits in some ways too. We support the thing that kills us.
Yeah, not 100%. But that's a conversation right there that we disagree on who we need to talk to. Why is it that when they did a survey, right? Because you
Mhm,
guys edify me on how to look at these numbers and shit, right? They did a survey of married men.
mhm,
In this survey, 30% of those married men were sexless. 30%,
Mhm,
30% is concerning, right?
mhm,
If I owe you $100, I can't give you 70. I might be able to give you 90, right?
mhm,
70, I'm like, nah, my nigga, right?
mhm,
And so here's the cop out. Oh, well, how is she being treated? This, that, and the third. Right? I understand it, right? But when you say I'm agreeing to be the one and only for damn near everything, but then you use sex as leverage in a negative way,
mhm.
I need to talk to the women who are willing to do that.
For sure. I think that's an important conversation to have for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Now I could say,
100%.
yo, nigga, what you doing in the house? But it could be anything, right? Literally anything for her to say no. Right? I understand getting sick, the period, right? Kids be a headache, all this work. But
Mhm,
we make a way to say no to 30% of them niggas who took a survey. That's
mhm.
that's the worst type of manipulation. Because as
Right.
soon as he goes somewhere, now he the culprit because he cheated.
Mhm, mhm.
So I think and you got to have that conversation with people who are really willing to have it though.
That's
If
true.
people want to automatically take offense, we got to discard them
Mhm.
because we need to understand the ideology and then the pathology to how they get there, right? Damn, I'm talking a lot today. My
See,
bad.
see,
I,
see, I, see. I might. I still think it's the men, even though 30% said that. I still think it's that, man. I just don't think that they would be trying to get money if niggas wasn't giving out money. And like even on YouTube and shit like that.
Mhm.
You know, like I never heard like all the provider stuff until I got to YouTube. I ain't gonna lie. I never heard this because there wasn't no men around me that would say that, you know. So even
Okay.
that, you know what I'm saying? Like a man, it's duty, it's provision, it's this and that. Even that I think makes it even more like it propagates even more. You know, now it's like, you know, you shame men who don't take care of everything for a woman before they get married. You know what I'm saying? And so now the women hearing that, and now they saying a real man. Now every time you see some shit that starts with a real man, we know it's finna be some shit that's that type of shit. A real man do this. A real man don't. What it say? It said a real man don't let his woman pay for anything, and a real woman don't let her man take care of everything like that. Some stupid shit like that. So now the women, the it girls, start posting all that type of shit, and now all the other girls think it apply to them, and they think that should become their standard. But for me, it all goes back to there's some nigga that's meeting that standard. There's some nigga that's saying, "Shorty, what's up? Let's go shopping." You know what I'm saying? Let's go shopping. And now Shorty bragging about this nigga that took her shopping. You know what I'm saying? And now everybody want to go shopping, even the ones who don't deserve to go shopping.
Yeah.
They don't qualify for that shit.
So let me say this then. Okay. All right. So Shaw, foundation. If I were to make us take a stance, right,
Mhm.
on how you got it laid out, foundation, expectation, miscalculation, right? Foundation. My argument would be there is none.
Mhm.
If
That's
we were
fair.
to start there.
That's fair. Yeah. I'm glad you did that because I wanted to make a add on, not a clarification, an add on. I agree with you. We don't, in general, specifically as black men, I don't think our foundation is very solid. Just again, if I'm thinking about my generation of men, our foundation is very solid. It's not very solid. I learned this last year that relationships are actually they shouldn't be built on expectations. They should be built on agreements. And
Semantics?
so the reason, say that again,
The semantics?
not at all, because
Right.
here's why I don't think so, him. Because if you say we don't have a foundation, then how do I determine what I expect from my woman? Where do I get these ideas from? Is it from movies? Is it from another nigga I don't know and I don't know his situation? It just sound good when he say it. Is it because I'm horny and I feel like as a man, anytime I'm horny, that thing should get. I should not be horny. If I got a woman in the house when I'm hungry, I should be fed. These are my expectations based off what? When I don't even have a foundation, I didn't even see it. So how do I develop it? So I
Okay.
think the best course of action is once I begin to get edified on these things and I begin to learn, understand boundaries, understand the things I desire from my mate. I need to have a conversation with her and say, are you willing to agree to these things? And you say it all the time, just because they agree. you called me the other day, which is funny, about the whole rub your back shit. That was hilarious, right? You
Mhm.
said it and you still ain't got a back rub yet, right? Got shot. Dr. Watson got shot looking crazy on the internet, right?
Mhm.
Um, but these are the things I think, like as men, we have to be teaching. Like, nah, bro, just because she a woman, don't expect nothing. Like, you need agreement. You need verbal agreement, so you have something to hold her accountable for when it doesn't happen. Now, over repeated times when it don't happen, you have a problem. But I think it just creates resentment and frustration when you go into relations with women, just expecting them to do things just because they're women. Because I think on the flip side, we know again, our generation, their foundation is not solid either. So they going off the songs, they going off the romance movies, they going off the Disneyland fantasy ideas of relationships too. And we
Yeah.
all just coming to this thing with falsehood and make believe.
Yeah. And so, yo, okay, yeah. So you got to get the agreement, right? For sure, verbally, right? And then, therefore, you know what to expect, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that niggas shoot. This is where I implicate us. We shoot ourselves in the foot by accepting any fucking thing. Like, and I'm saying any, like, yo, oh, she got a friend from the sandbox. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit, bro. Men don't call my house, nigga. I don't give a fuck. Right? There's nothing I need to prove to nobody. They can say whatever they want to say, right? Right? But it's just like we go for shit, right? Oh yeah, I love Ruth Chris. John brought me here. Well, fuck John and fuck Ruth Chris, nigga. But we just be just like, cause you know shit'll actually bother you. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Or
yeah.
the experience won't be the same magnitude,
Mm-hmm.
right? And what the fuck she care about? The niggas that's not loving her for the rest of her life.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't she discard or right? Like I just think, bro, we don't set real expectations and we compromise expectations that we won't be able to stomach.
Do you think the lack of expectation from us as men, Max and you and Sean, is because we don't have a foundation? Because, like I said, now everybody got their chest stuck out. Everybody, again, we speaking about men right now, fellas. So we'll tap into the women's side in a minute. But we speaking about men right now, where we all got our chest out, being like, these bitches ain't shit. They don't know nothing. They ain't no wives. Blah 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 blah. But again, if we really do an assessment, we ain't had no expectations of them. If we got the box, we was good. We weren't trying to develop wives. That's the honest truth. The majority of it. Let me speak for myself right now. That I wasn't trying to develop wives. When I met the final boss, the woman that I got on one knee and proposed to, we'll get into the miscalculation part. I realized all that plundering I was doing, it did not set me up. It was not conducive to me being to me now setting the foundation for my actual home. Right? Like the Playboy shit didn't the skills again. I mean, in some ways, but the things that were most important to kind of set up that foundation, they didn't translate. They weren't transferable.
Damn, that's crazy. Man,
That's
y'all said,
my experience.
yeah. This is what I think, right? I think that generally speaking, we don't have foundations. You know why? Because nobody sets a foundation for something that's transitory, something that's temporary.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. Like most of these years, these chicks weren't permanent. None of these interactions were meant to be permanent.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't give a fuck. And also, I didn't want you to set any boundaries for me. So I ain't gonna set none for you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So first off, you're just a placeholder. You just another one in a rotation. And also, yeah, stay out of my shit too. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. You're not gonna tell me what to do. I think it's more of that than we would like to think. Because niggas ain't intentional. All this intentional dating, I only heard that shit on the internet too. Niggas are not intentionally dating. I know Hamp said this too. Like niggas find cheeks. You getting cheeks, and you might eventually you'll meet a chick and it's like, damn, I kind of want just her for like ever, and I don't want nobody else to have her. Ain't nobody fucking intentional out here, man.
Mm-hmm.
They lying on the internet.
But Sean to Sean's not but. What need do I mean but? And that's why these relationships are in the shithole too.
Mm-hmm.
Is that one thing that we really have to assess? Like we don't have no expectations going into it, right? So there's no solid foundation, and then she grow on you or vice versa, and then you trying to make something out of make it shake, right? Because things seemingly align, but we don't have a foundation, and then there's no expectation, and we wonder why the divorce rate is 50% at before 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it all makes sense. But you 100% accurate. We out here smashing, and then we like her more than the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then she asks you, "What are we?" too many times, and you say, "All right, fuck it then." Right?
Right. Yep,
Now let me ask y'all a quick question, right? Because it's the internet, right? We know what the space we need. This is super perspective, right? I want to know from y'all, and I'll go first. Do the majority of the women y'all met in y'all life, right? Y'all been on y'all mission for 30 years. Have y'all ran into a lot of women with real unrealistic expectations, like in the dating game? Has that been your experience? I'll say for me, no. I haven't really. I mean, I'll say I've been on a date with a person and they say some stuff. Like I remember maybe like last year I went on a date with a girl and she was like, you know, whenever we get together, you can never invite me over your house because if we together, we supposed to be like something about like building we supposed to be working on, and it just like didn't make sense. So I was like, we can never just chill. We can never kick. We always got to be kind of like spending money, and it always got to be a time on the town. Every time we get together, like that does not make fucking sense. Like
Majority no. I would say majority no. I haven't experienced that overwhelmingly. Like probably overwhelming majority no.
Mm-hmm.
okay,
I would say.
Yeah, vast minority. I like that. You know what
I
I'm
would say
saying?
maybe 20% if I had to give grace.
Because
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the internet helping Sean. Like that's what we often hear, right? We often hear the unrealistic expectations, and we use the clips, right? We get the chicks that come say crazy shit. We get the dude talking about giving somebody 20,000, but I don't often hear help in the community you create. I don't often hear men discuss like unrealistic expectations. Maybe things that might be hard to meet sometimes, but I don't know if it's unrealistic.
The okay. The unrealistic thing is a thing that the men complain about women trying to call men stagnant and
Okay.
complacent, where he might just be content in a job, right? They always talk about what's next, what's the next steps, and all that, but they don't even
Mm-hmm.
have the earning potential that we have just by proxy of being able to do physical jobs that I can get an extra dollar for. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like not the brain capacity, but like let's say I wanted to work overtime or do something. I could go overnight stock, right? I could do moving on Saturday, Sundays, right? Just the physical capacity allows me to, right, expand and maybe make an extra dollar if I needed to, right? But they always pushing men who may be happy what he doing and where he at, you know, driving his CDL truck and making his 60, 75, maybe 80 if he do overtime, you know? But now that
Mm-hmm.
nigga ain't good enough because she want to push him to own his a CDL company type shit. I've
Mhm.
heard that happen a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, I do think that the social media does influence the continually climb culture. Never be satisfied with life. I do see that. I mean, even in my own relationships, I've had conversations about we got to turn the computer off. We got to turn the phone off because it's bringing things into the relationship that aren't problems of ours, but we trying to keep up with the conversation that's going on outside the house. So I do see that.
yeah.
Mm.
You can say some, Sean?
Nah, I'm just listening to what y'all saying, and I was looking at your question about courtship versus conquest. You want to get to
Okay,
it?
talk about it.
God damn, Sean,
Damn, my bad.
we there?
I
Yeah, I
don't
think
think so.
we
we
not.
still?
We not because I thought
Nah,
Huh?
we not quite there yet. We could.
okay, my bad, my
The
bad, my bad.
expectation, like what things get heaped on. Now, one thing I've experienced, right,
Mm.
anecdotally, is like my wife, like, wants shit.
Okay.
Oh, let's get another house. I'm
Mhm.
sitting there like, who the fuck just say that? Yeah, let's just get another fucking Scooby Doo and shit. Like, let's just like, you know what I'm saying? like that's one thing I say, right? I don't know if it's an expectation shot,
Uh,
but it's like a reality thing. Like, what do you mean? Let's just like, so 3% interest rate and they're 8% right now as we speak. Well, like, 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 but you
I
know
didn't
how
ask
it
you a
be,
question,
Sean.
Hill.
When they trust you, they think you could do
Right.
everything. Like, you
I was
know,
about to ask you, Hill. I was about to ask you. Let me ask you a question, right? Because you a successful man. You very ambitious. You get shit done. Do you think in any way, like your
nigga.
wife watching you, she seeing you move, boom, 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 you get shit done? Is that egregious for her to be like, oh no, you got it. We can do a little more. Is that egregious?
No, it's not
Is that
egregious.
inspirational? Okay.
It's inspirational. It's not egregious, and it's
Okay.
unrealistic. Right?
Okay.
Like, because
Okay.
that's the part, right? Like
Okay.
she say, when my wife and I first met, she never asked me what I did. Now she saw that I DJ, but people assume that's not your only job. I think for the most
Mm-hmm.
part people do, but she never asked me. I'm like, you
Mm-hmm.
never asked me. We was reminiscing. She's like, I just knew that we would never be broke.
Mm-hmm.
To your point, but then it's just like, well, you got to buy that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like so
Mm-hmm.
those things, right? And I wonder how it manifests if you are ill-equipped to meet certain desires, whether it be buying a house or buying a bag or going out to dinner and going out to dinner where, right? Because you just scale it down,
Mm-hmm.
right? Is it
Right.
unrealistic for the nigga who does work a 9 to 5, who's decently successful at 60 grand, right? Doing better than his male counterparts, to
Right.
go to high end restaurants every week? Or do he
Right.
got to do it after once a month because he got to pay mortgage rent on the first, right? And then you got that other check where you got more liquidity in which now let's go to Del Frisco's.
I'm sorry. He got to train her to have the basic bitch palate. She can't have a bad bitch palate, man. You got to train her, man. You can't have that bad bitch palate around here, man. We ain't got that bread. You feel me?
Hey, Sean, I want to build on that because I'm asking y'all. Both of y'all have been. I got to make sure I say this right. Hemp is married. Sean's been married. I be slipping. I got to be careful with that. And we acknowledge that we didn't have foundations, but we now are talking about expectations. For me, it's been trial and error. It's been a lot of freestyle. And I said, damn, Shy, you fucked that up. Put that in my notes. Don't do that again. But this works. And I'm curious, and I think for him first, because I would say as far as us three, Sean, that's a success story up here. You know what I mean? I'm the engagement king. So currently, him, when I first met you, bro, it seemed like you had already gotten to a place where you had developed that understanding of your expectations, right?
What you mean?
So when by the time I met you, you was the grown man. Him, you wasn't slamming cheeks no more. You was a father. You had a home that you're building. You had a wife, a family that you committed to.
Okay.
But you even said your foundation wasn't, let's say, optimal. You did come from a 2-parent home, but you didn't necessarily get the instruction. The things that we said are very important. And I'm just curious to know, how did you develop your expectation? Was it from the religion?
No, that's actually good. That's actually good. So my father, 100% provider though.
Okay.
You see, so
paying everything.
We had that foundation. Okay. You know, whatever my father did or didn't do, we always had whatever we needed. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that aspect was resonated with me. And my older brother kind of had similar, but yeah, damn near the same, 100% everything, you know? So that's one thing that I did see growing up.
Okay.
Keep it tall.
That's interesting. That's interesting. You had the examples, right? Because I had examples, so all I knew was plundering. I ain't even had dudes talking about marriage for real until I got older. But it's just interesting. You had the foundation. What was the turning point? Because at one point in time, you was get cheeks help. What when you decide you was cool on that. Now it's time to do the other, even though you had the example in the house. What was the turning point for you?
What? Huh?
You just like it's time.
So the only difference with them, they didn't go to college neither. So like my brother started working as soon as he got out of. He went to college for like a year and a half. Then he said, "Boom!" He started working. My father went to the Marines. Boom, came home. My grandfather had a construction company already, so my father went instantly into the construction company. You see, so I was, playing. I went to 3 different schools and and you know how it go. Mm-hmm. And you just looking like she don't even know my name, son. And she ready to get to it. Ain't nobody thinking about it.
Yeah,
so I can't even yeah.
What about you, Sean? Because you've been out here plundering too. So what was the turning point for you? You said, "I'm gonna stop doing that." Even though I know you done told your story, you said you still getting cheeks. Like, what was the turning point though?
Turning point for me in terms of not plundering anymore.
Yeah, like when you was like, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna actually try to commit to one woman.
Well, the end of my villain origin story is very ratchet, but I don't mind saying it again.
That's why I asked. I know you're gonna tell the truth.
Yeah, me and little bro, me and Aunt, we was at Harlow in Dallas, Deep Ellum. You know what I'm saying? We at Harlow and some chicks come over to our table. And some attractive chicks. Eventually, we go back to my crib. Now my crib is downtown Dallas, nice shit by the Mavs Stadium type shit. We go back to the crib. And so within 2 hours of meeting her, I was having sex with her. And I promise you I ain't pay attention until afterwards she had a ring on her finger. You know what I'm saying? And so now I'm having sex with this chick, and I promise you, it's not even that I forgot her name. I literally never asked her name. I just didn't know her name. You know what I'm saying? And this type of shit happens a lot. You know what I'm saying? I've had this happen a whole lot in my life. And so it was after that I'm like, you know, the next chick I meet, I'm gonna see if I could at least, you know, be monogamous type shit. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't no woman made me do it. I just felt like, I'm like, I can't keep doing this shit, man. I've been doing this shit for so long, my nigga. So it was just a challenge to myself to be better, to be honest.
All right, so let me tell you what I'm hearing. Y'all let me know y'all disagree. It sounds very experimental. That because when people talk about like even my, you know, the people who are around me that you know, when I decided to, I was like, all right, I'm ready to be married, and the person I was with, like, I in my mind I say it's intentional, like, but I think in the same way I went from where like a year before I met her, I was still on the same shit. Took like a year off. I mean, I still was dibbling and dabbling, but I wasn't wilding. I met her. The vibe, like him said, I liked her more than I probably had liked any other girl. So I'm like, all right, now it's time to try it out. And I'm wondering, with that type of approach, is that really going to be successful? Again, HAMP is proven yes, and it can be. But if I'm thinking from a majority standpoint, and I don't know what that rite of passage would look like, but if us three have admitted the majority of our life we was on having a good time, not here for a long time, for a good time, and then we find that one girl and we say, all right, now it's time to try something different. Is that a prescription that we think the majority of men would actually be successful in marriage? Because I would say no. You on mute, help.
It goes back to agreements though too, right?
Okay.
So when we dibble and dabble and then we find one we want, we don't go back to the agreement stage, which sets the expectations, and then we start accepting shit we don't like, right? Because if you look in these women's past, right, of the failed relationships, there's things that we probably tried to make sense out of that we should have never had, right? So you outside doing X, Y, and Z, right? And I say, okay, I like my wife more than I like other people. Let's see what's up. Plus, she's saying, what are we and shit. But this isn't in her past. This isn't in her past. Niggas who friends or whatever the case, all that shit gotta go. I'm not fucking with it. You feel me? And so that helped me kind of maybe circumvent the issues for being so casual and lazy when vetting. You feel me? 'Cause I'm not dealing with certain shit. I don't even entertain that shit. Cause they all coming from outside. But I'm not accepting no shit that I know I can't sleep with. That's why I don't even, there's certain shit motherfuckers be saying and shit. Well, I don't never go that far because I'm not gonna be able to live with myself if somebody, you know what I mean? Like things go too far. You feel me? And so her having male friends, I'm not dealing with that shit. I wouldn't sleep good. Feel me?
Not to go too deep into that particular point, because I know, like I said, I appreciate y'all having these conversations. That's one of the things I still like, because I have a female friend, and nothing has ever happened. It's a solid relationship. I understand when you coming from him, but those one of those things where I'm like, maybe for now we just on opposite sides of the room. And we haven't gotten to like the miscalculation part of the conversation yet, but I'll just say briefly, help in my younger life, I was very like no nonsense. Like you talk to me crazy once I'm out of here. And ironically, and I think Strata was the first person I heard say this. I actually overcorrected myself and started being a little bit too chill, because I was like, in the past, I just like, you talk to me crazy, I'm out of there. You do something weird, some dude in your life that's pop up and you tell me, well, I don't know why I'm out of there. Don't play with me ever. And then when I got the girl I was ready to marry, I found myself, like when I look back on it, I'll be like, damn, Shy, you was kind of
Placating,
like, and people who know me, like, yeah, how you do it there and you didn't do it? And I was like, I think it was just an overcorrection, because I'm like, bro, I'm just cutting everybody off for the smallest things. And yeah, so I'll save the deep dive for that when we get to the miscalculation part. But that's my personal story.
we might be there now.
We be there now.
We might
Okay.
be.
Okay.
Yeah. Now.
Hold on.
What up, buzzin', bird, flip a dozen. Holla at your boy, you thought your cousin was.
To my brother Ezekiel Ben Israel, who gifted 5. This might be risky memberships, man. Whoever got blessed with one, please maintain. And with the 2000s, my foundation will never include a woman. Solo, dolo.
Perfect. No shit, man.
Come on the panel. Yeah, damn, man.
These jokes just write themselves sometimes, man. Shout out to Ed.
Miscalculations, huh?
Oh shit.
With a shaky foundation, not ensuring that we have agreement, only having expectation. I often wonder, like, I've even heard when we had some of the conversations on the Discord. I hear, I think I've heard Arnold say one time, like, I thought women were sugar, spice, and everything nice. And again, to me, it goes back to that foundation. We didn't have a real understanding of what the process was in regards to women. So I think about the Michelle Obama thing, right? We were talking about this, where when she went on a podcast and said, for 10 years, I wasn't rocking with how Barack was moving, whatever she said. And I feel like a few guys felt offended by it. And I didn't quite understand why they were offended. I guess I do understand the part about keep business in-house. But I also wonder, like, do men in general, do we think, well, maybe not, but maybe I can answer my own question. Like, I think niggas think women be miserable the whole time they be with them. But I don't know if they're just hyperbole or they're just how most men feel in general. I'm not sure. But I think in general, the understanding that men seem to have of women is only about the negative trait. If I'm thinking about the internet space and what I hear men often talk about, the understanding just comes from the part about them that makes them unfavorable to us. And so even when you talk, let's talk about the provider thing, right? Because again, I said, and hopefully a woman can come up and edify us, like even like how they understand it. Because most of them didn't grow up in a home with a provider. We keeping it a buck. They didn't. Mama was doing the best she can. That was most of the majority, because that's most of the men's environment. That's most of the women's environment as well. But they seem to, and I'm saying seem, capital letters, to understand what it looks like, what it is. And I think it's based off, again, internet rhetoric. But I do think in general, as men, we don't have an understanding of them outside of the negative traits that we often hear.
I think they're impossible to understand. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I don't think that they have a, like, in my experience, I don't think there's a solid foundation. I think is whatever I feel like today is what it is, and if you don't align with that, then we gonna clash. I don't think they generally have a solid foundation. You know what I'm saying? And so wherever the feelings or emotions or whatever take them in that moment, they want you to go on that ride with them and shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? And I can't rock with that.
Hold on. Doesn't it kind of lean to what I said, like Sean? Because we would consider that unfavorable, right? Like if we were just saying, don't put a face on it. We were just writing down traits of a person. Wouldn't something like that be something we would, let's say, a business partner? Because I think I don't know if I fully agree about the marriage is a business, but I do think there's a business like element to marriage. Has to be. How you doing, Miss Lady?
Hi. Welcome. Good evening.
Good to see you. So Sean, if you put that on a whiteboard, right? That doesn't sound like a favorable trait. If I'm trying to get young men to be motivated about finding a wife, I think that if you just say it on his face the way you said it, they would be like, hell no, who want to deal with that for a lifetime?
Yeah. Women are just all over the place. They don't generally have a foundation. You know what I'm saying? It's just mostly emotions and rainbows and shit like that. And I don't know. But now that we have a woman up here, Shad, what do we need a woman's input on that we already talked about?
We can go back to the beginning. Let's go to the foundation. So Caressa, we kind of talked about like what our origin story was. I didn't grow up in a 2-parent home. I don't think Sean did either. Was that your start? Did you grow up with mom and dad at home?
Yes, I did. My parents were married, and I did grow up in a 2-parent household.
Okay. Did they talk to you about relationships? Did your mom sit you down and say, "Hey, baby, this how you conduct yourself in this home. This how you keep a man good"?
No. Okay. To be honest with you, I feel as though culturally, because my background, my family's from Belize. So I feel like culturally, we don't tend to have those conversations regarding relationships and how they should look. I mean, I know what was modeled for me, but in terms of like those specific conversations, we never had any.
So how did you develop your foundation? You know, were you as a young girl, did you want to be married? Was that your thing? Like, I want to be somebody's wife.
Oh, for sure. You know, I wanted the American dream, the husband, the kids, the home, white picket fence, all of that. I think a lot of my views on relationships came from like, you know, societal norms. Obviously, as women, when we're growing up, like, you know, that's drilled in our heads. You want to get a good husband, this, that, and the other. So I think a lot of it comes from societal norms and what's presented to us outside of the household as well.
Can you expound a little bit more on like some societal norms from a woman's point of view? What are those societal norms that you picked up when you were creating your foundation for like what a marriage would look like for you?
I think for me, like I said, it was more so looking for stability, you know, just wanting to create a family, create a home. That was pretty much like the gist of it.
Let me take you back a little bit because the title was dating game, and I've said marriage a couple of times. So your parents were married. What was your foundation? Because we said for us as men, we started off just trying to get cheeks. So were you trying to give cheeks? Was that like as a young woman? Was that your thing? Like because your foundation, you trying to give it up? What you using your body to get the man you want? What was you doing?
No, so my thing is I've always been a relationship person. So early on, my experience was always relationship, relationship, relationship. In terms of dating, I feel as though, and that's probably why I'm struggling now. Right now, I'm 39, still single. And I feel as though I'm struggling in a sense because in my younger years, I wasn't really in the dating scene because I kind of bounced around from like relationship to relationship type thing.
One of the things that inspired this conversation for me was just thinking about again what I hear talked about most often on the internet, right? And there's a lot of finger pointing. Women are saying the reason why the dating game is the way it is because men aren't providers anymore, and this
That's
and that.
true.
And okay, and we never get. Everyone's always pointing the finger. So I'm curious to know from a woman's point of view, right? Because one thing that me and Sean are willing to do is kind of talk about where we as men, how we kind of got the game messed up, or we messed the game up. Sean got this idea about women being soft prostitutes or engaging in soft prostitution.
I agree.
You see the same thing.
For sure.
Where did this come from? What happened to the moms who we know to be, you know, your mom, my mom may be the same in the same age group, and I don't know if we would have said that about our mom. Maybe so. Maybe it started with them. What's happening?
I feel like the shift happened when women started working outside of the household. Since we're no longer financially dependent on men anymore, I guess in terms of what we would tolerate in the past, we're no longer tolerating. So for us, I feel like it kind of shifted the view a little bit. So it's like for us, it's like, what are we getting out of it now? You see what I'm saying? It's like where we have jobs, we're coming in with income, we own our own homes, apartments, what have you. So the thing is, it's like we're not tolerating as much as we used to. And that's why, and I know you guys were talking about qualifications and like expectations earlier. And I do feel as though with a lot of women, because a lot of men are playing games, that is the reason why we've set those expectations. And I feel as though depending on the situation, there's nothing wrong with an expectation. Like, for example, one of mine is I prefer a traditional date. I'm hearing a lot of people are doing walks in the parks, like that type of stuff. That wouldn't work for me. I'm not saying we have to go to a 5-star restaurant on the first date, but I'm more so a traditional, let's meet up for a meal, a drink, something to that effect. So I personally believe that there's nothing wrong with having an expectation. So I know you guys were saying a lot of women are not qualified. So I more so wanted to know what woman qualifies to make a demand on how a date should look. Like what type of woman can dictate the qualifications? I guess that's the question.
I do want to answer your question, and we will, but I want to go back to my question because I'm not sure if you answered it 100%. Because I said, you know, as men, we're willing to say as men, we can see how, let's just say the men that, you know, the girls like, right? Those guys, the majority of their life, they having fun here for a good time, not a long time, and they send them back to the streets. Even if it's an agreement, right? You have fun with me, we kick it for 2 months. I'm gonna give you some good sex. We might take a trip, we might hang out, but you're not getting commitment. You have to go back into the forest and find somebody to commit to you. And I can see how women experiencing that repeatedly, it can also create bad habits with them as well, the way they operate. So I want to understand from you, because you're a woman, what are women doing as well, right? We talk about this shaky foundation that we all come from, right? And that helps us develop our expectations. What's happening on the other side?
Well, I would say
Because it can't be all men's fault, right? It can't be all our fault the way y'all move. What are y'all doing?
I mean, some women, I guess they're putting a lot of value on what we're looking for out of men. A lot of us are picky in what we're looking for in terms of
Wait, when you say a lot,
requirements.
I ain't here, but you say a lot of y'all. Do you think most women
Yeah,
are, or
I would say most women are picky. I mean, from what I'm hearing from the men in my circle, they say a lot of the women want the same thing. They want a man over 6 feet, making over 6 figures. And I feel where a lot of women mess up is they do make a lot of emphasis on money. And I know you guys had talked about like I don't recall specifically what was said, but it was something about early on. And I think Hemp was saying with his wife, she never really asked what type of work he did. But and I feel as though nowadays, like women, we do put a lot of emphasis on money and career and stability. And oftentimes it comes off as being gold digging, I guess you can say, because a lot of women nowadays are being labeled as being gold diggers. So I guess you could say that's where women are messing up. Also, too, giving it up too easy, not letting the man putting effort. Because if a man is not investing in his woman, I mean, unfortunately, he's going to get what he wants and move on, and it's going to become a continuous cycle. So women, we're giving it up too easily, and we're not holding men accountable. We're just kind of, I personally believe that's part of the issue.
Sean, I need to go in the house and plug my laptop up, man, so you can hold it down for like 2 minutes.
Yeah. So just for the record too, on this channel too, like some is not the thing. It's either like the minority or the majority. You know what I'm saying? Just for the context sake.
So but it's hard to say. So I'll just say women, and because I know not all women are like that, but women are viewed as putting money on a pedestal.
Now, let me ask you this too, right? Because this part of the conversation hasn't been said. Do you feel like so explain where you grew up at? Because I want to get to the culture part of it.
Yep. So my family, like I said, is from Belize, but I spent most of my years in the Bronx, New York City, very diverse. And also Belize, obviously, Central America, third world country.
Okay. So now look, do you feel like in Belize as opposed to in the States, there's dating and culture and family building and stuff is seen or taught differently?
Oh, for sure. So growing up, that was one thing that I can say I wasn't able to just bring anybody home. Like you had to be presentable, you had to come from a good family. Even in terms of dating out there, there's some type of courtship. So it's not just us meeting up for lunch. Like if we're going out on a date, like we're dating intentionally. Like you have to be intentional about dating a woman out there.
Okay. All right, so it seems like that probably shaped your view, because what we started off with is Shad was asking us what kind of shaped our worldview as it relates to women. Like where do we, what did we believe and where did it come from? And so, like I said, for me, it came from my uncle, being a pimp and things like that, and my other uncles having no real care for women like that. You know what I'm saying? And so I think it's interesting to hear on the flip side for you what you said. Now, let me ask you this: Do you feel like you were taught how to be a man's wife or how to take care of a man? Or do you feel like you were just taught to just go get a man and get secure?
Yeah, no, I would say so. First of all, with women, we're not supposed to be the ones seeking out the men. In the Bible, it says, he who finds a wife, not she who finds a husband. So once that man finds us, I mean, our role is to pretty much, as women, what I was taught is kind of to be a wife. Like, the expectation is to make sure that your husband is good. He's coming home to a home cooked meal. Just traditional values, taking care of the household, the
Who taught you
children,
that?
the laundry.
Like, who was teaching that in the home?
I guess you could
Mom,
say
dad,
it's
close.
like an unspoken thing because that's pretty much what I was raised in. So that's what I saw from my grandparents. That's what I saw from my parents, aunts, uncles. Like that was what was shaped around me and modeled for me.
Mhm. Okay, so that was modeled for you. All right, so if you had to guess, right? So I'm just kind of going back over some of the things we discussed before you got here. I was saying that a lot of times, women, most times, from my experience, it seems like I think the guys who lead with money.
Hmm.
Let me back up real quick. In your experience, is it
Yes.
common for guys to lead with money?
Yes, for sure.
Okay. I need to frame it. My bad. I just wanted to frame that. So
For
you said it's
sure.
for guys to lead with money.
Hmm.
So my premise would be that since so many guys lead for money, I think that fuels the expectation that everybody should provide. Would you agree or disagree with that?
My personal opinion is yes, I do believe a man should provide.
Right. But do you think the fact that men provide fuels the expectation that other men should provide every man you meet? The fact that the last guy and the last guy, had it and they was willing to give it. Does that then bolster your expectation?
For sure, because I mean, at that point, we done set a tone. If
Mhm.
every other man I've dated before you has been a provider, wined and dined me, why would I expect less at that point? I don't think any woman would go for that.
Okay, I get that. Now, see, herein lies the problem, though. So
Mhm.
now, so say for you, that's a reality, right?
Mhm.
You can command that type of thing, but now every woman or most women feel like they can do the same thing, and that shit just ain't a reality for most people. That shit is out of reach. So now I think it sets up an unrealistic expectation as opposed to, most people should literally just find someone that they love, they want to spend their lives with. They can, they're not high earners, either one of them, but they can build together and have a great life. But, us on whatever level we on, we fucking shit up. The niggas with the bag that's buying the chicks all this shit is fucking shit up. That's my opinion. Would
I
you
agree
agree with
with you. Yeah, I agree with you 1,000%. Because again, a lot of men they lead with money, and I guess there's some men, to be honest with you, they have nothing to offer other than money.
Mhm.
So typically, that's what they go with. But in terms of that expectation, so is it wrong for a woman to say that she wants a provider? Because it just seems as though the conversation on YouTube is whenever a woman states that, oh, I want a man who's a provider making a certain income, she's automatically labeled as a gold digger.
What you
And
think?
why is that the conversation?
So I think, yeah, is my mic good?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yes, we can
I
hear
think,
you.
Chris, what we're trying to do is like, because right, the conversation online for me personally are not very helpful. If we're talking about getting black people back together, the way we have these conversations online are not very helpful. I think they only just keep us stagnated and they keep us apart because we're always just talking at each other. Um, but I guess what the reality is, we talk about a realistic conversation is that the majority of men, based on the income, we're talking about black people, that the majority of men make. Um, and then with the expectations that women have, it seems like women are saying if a man can't pay all of the bills, then they wouldn't get married. Is that fair? Because when I hear provider, I'm thinking the first option, the optimal option, he pays for everything. Because if I pay 65%, am I a provider?
I would view that. Yes, I would view that. I mean, everybody's definition of provider is different, but in my opinion, a provider is the person who's paying the majority of the bills. It doesn't say you have to pay 100%, but if you're paying the majority, yes, I would consider you a provider.
Okay. What about if it's like 55-45 based on my income?
No, that's too close. Too close to the line. I mean, anything over 75%, you can wear the crown of a provider. But if we're getting too close to the 50-50 mark, then can't really call you a provider at that point.
So as far as the price of entry for men and women to get together, we talking about Black people. Only men who can pay 75% of the bills qualify for marriage.
I mean, part of marriage is being able to financially take care of your household. So if you're not, and keep in mind, if you're planning a family at some point, you're going to want to have kids. And let's say if you're marrying someone who is gainfully employed, what if she's out on maternity leave for 6 to 9 months? Are you going to be able to pay the bills in the house? Or is your family going to hit hard times because you're more so reliant on that 50-50 income coming from her? Traditionally, and again, I'm very traditional. I'm Central American. I'm Belizean. So my opinion, my man, I do believe he should pay at least 75%. You don't have to pay everything, but at least 75%.
Yeah. So at least from my perspective, I'm not arguing with your point. I guess I'm trying to have like the realistic conversation about what that looks like as far as application. If we're saying that's the law, because in a minute we're going to have to go to the other side. We got to figure out as a woman what you're willing to accept as a standard for what men have as far as what the price of entry would be for y'all, right? Because everyone has a price of entry. If you saying women are saying in mass, and we're using you as the mascot for now for women, we're saying the rest is the president, and you saying the standard is if a man can't pay 75%, then he doesn't qualify to be a husband. And I'm saying if we're looking at the numbers, right? Because we talking about our community, we talking about the expectation, the miscalculations. If that's the standard, then the majority of us won't be married, based off what the income currently is for black men specifically. And I'm saying, if we having a conversation on the internet, right? We talk about men in a negative way, right? Because they can't make that 75, because they can't live up to that 75%. We don't have the conversation in this way. In this way, usually.
So with the 75% though, because a lot of men, and I'm going to speak to our age group, the 35 and up, although they may not be making over 6 figures, I mean, if you're already functioning independently, meaning you already have your own apartment, house, whatever, I would say you would qualify as a provider if you're already coming in with your own. I think what we're referring to also is we're trying to weed out the men that are in the dating scene, but they have nothing to offer. Like, let's be honest, there's certain men out there who they're dating just because, winter's coming. They need a warm place to lay their head. You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of men are not qualified to date. So I don't think necessarily I wouldn't say you have to have a high income, because I mean, if you're living in an area where, let's say, 50,000 is considered standard, and you're able to maintain your household with that, that's perfectly fine. I think the goal should just be to be able to maintain your household.
Bruh.
So if I'm paying 100% before I meet you,
Hey,
what would be the problem if you're already paying 100% before meeting me?
The problem with
go ahead, Sean.
the term. Oh yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Ezekiel,
$5. You got it. Come on, go ahead.
Yeah, Ezekiel with the $4.99 says 1 out of 15 super chats. Hey, shout out to y'all that's dropping them super chats, man. Keep it rocking. Harrison, $4.99. Harrison says salute. Harrison, what's shaking, man? AP, accountability partner with the $5. He said a dope conversation. Shout out to AP, always supportive. AP says, Shaw, good point, my brother. Look outside the negative. Okay. Ezekiel, once again, he said that's 4 out of 15 super chats. I think it moved since then. Shout out to Zeke again. My boy Black with the salute. Salute to Black, man. Black, a real one. AP, right back. Sean, also a valid point. They be all over the place, putting nails on nails, putting nails on nails and hair on good hair. Oh, shit, that's crazy. My boy Zeke, right back, man. 8 out of 15 super chats. Let's go, Zeke. Black, right back with it. Expectations, the fastest route to disappointment. Ooh.
Fact.
AP, right back with it, man. $5 super chat said, Caressa, the answer is none. You don't get to dictate the first/second date. You turn down coffee, simple restaurants, walking movies, and he dodges a bullet.
I mean, a walk is not a date, in my opinion. You're just going for a walk. That's called exercise. That's not a
I'm
date.
taking him on a wild walk. Shout out to AP. AP right back with it. Another $5 says the first couple of dates are to get to know someone better.
I agree.
Demands means you're owed something, and it's not a date in good faith. Shout out to AP.
It's not a demand. It's more of an expectation. Or
which to me, shout out to AP with the $2 again. I meant Caressa, not Caress. My bad.
Oh, thank you.
AP right back with the $5 said you summed it up with that statement, Caressa. You said aside from the money, many men have nothing to offer. If that were true, how did he make the money, Caressa? That's not a question. Hold on, we almost done. AP right back with the $5 says, Caressa, quick question, which is not a question right now. Does money equal provision? Just trying to understand the mindset. Sun Kiss with the $5 says, Shalom, brother. Will with the $5. Why is the term provider only relegated to finances? Wouldn't the term provider extend beyond finances? Don't answer.
Don't walk it down.
Yeah. Man, there's some. I missed a lot. There's some interesting questions. It's just so odd to me. Like one thing, observation. Crest was popping.
Hi.
They be like, "Yo, you should provide for me," and she born in the 80s.
Right. That's what I said. Right, makes no sense.
It's over with. He's like, "Yo, you need to get somebody who like you as much as you like them." Demands for what? You've been doing it for 40 years. You can keep doing it, right? Like, isn't that how it go? Thank you, man.
Sean, you ain't took a drink yet, bro.
Hey, I'm about to go get one. We got a new super chat from the homie, man. The homie, man. That's
Perfect. Shit like that.
The homie, oh man, the goddamn St. Louis's finest, man, with the 50 ball of the day. Salute to the bros and the young lady. Salute to the home.
Weather outside is humid. She turned up her location. She must think I'm stupid. She wanna run the street, so let her ho, let her ho, let her ho. She doesn't show signs of stopping, so who am I to be cock blocking? I really hate to see you go. Let her ho, let her ho, let her ho.
Perfect. Shit like that. Perfect. Shit like that.
I can't wait for y'all to hear the music that Foe got, man. He was playing some for us in the Discord last night. Yo, Foe got, man, I can't wait to buy whatever he's selling musically, bro. He got some shit.
Foe, let me get on the hook, Foe. Let me get on the hook, Foe. Hey, so Caressa, I want to walk it down.
What up, DJ? What up, Sean?
Good, bro.
Ain't nothing. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Hey, JP, before you jump in real quick, let me ask you one more question. You can jump in, bro. Hey, Caressa, I just want to walk this down one more time, right? So I want to just make sure I clarify. So if I'm paying 100%, all right, I'm paying 100% of the bills before I meet you, right? For myself. You would consider that person to be a provider. We talk about finances only for now, right? You consider him a provider.
Yes, absolutely.
When you bring in your expenses, your bills, you're saying that if I can't meet my 100% plus what you add, that takes away my title as being a provider. Therefore, I'm not qualified to be a husband.
See, I'm different in the sense because you already know I'm a high income earner, so I come in with my own money. So my personal answer would be no. I would say that obviously my expenses are my expenses. I do believe, and again, for me, I'm more so of a traditional mindset. I want a man that I can look up to, meaning take care of the bills. I'm not saying that I won't contribute. I'm not saying that I don't want to continue to work or things of that nature. I think if you're already doing it prior to us getting married, that's great. You see what I'm saying? And the point of marriage and partnership is to grow together as well. So maybe you may not be at this certain income level to meet the family's needs, but you guys can work together and get there to eventually, meet that goal.
We just got to make sure it's clear to the super perspective. As long as I'm paying 75%, we got to make sure we say it plainly.
Correct. So that's the thing. And again, because my thing is, if you're not paying at least 75%, you're no longer the provider. It's more so we're kind of doing 50-50, which kind of make it a roommate situation. So I just believe as though for a man, and this is my opinion, for a man to claim to be a provider, I do believe he needs to be providing for the majority of the household expenses.
Okay, we'll come back to it. I don't want to belabor. We got a guest. What's up, Jay Prince? What you want to add, brother?
Well, I'm kind of conflicted all over the place. The providers type, there's multiple levels of providing.
Okay.
Providing not just subjected to bringing in resources, right? That's never have been the natural order of how God created people. That's man-made. That's a man-made structure. That's not. It's not natural. Am I freezing? That's not God's structure. And another thing, what I want to blame this on men is I remember a time when women used to beg for men to want to be in relationships. Now it seems like it's got reversed. And I think men, especially black men, y'all stuck in the past. Y'all stuck in what it used to be. And the provider, man's supposed to do this, a woman's supposed to submit, woo out the bam. I think that everything's too far gone. In order to get, and I'm having to keep it raw with you, in order to get black women to really submit to you 100% like the way you said in your mind, you're going to have to take down the white man system. Without you taking down that's guilt tripping them and try to make them feel sad or make them feel guilty because they don't submit to you or they talk back to you or they don't do the stuff like they used to do back then. The only thing what giving them that leverage and that mindset to rebel against you is because the system's in a way. They don't have to depend on you. I'm on the system. And I can see what shit. If I was a woman, I won't give up the system, just give up the system willingly for you. You can't outbeat the system. So at the end of the day, it don't matter if it's education or welfare. That system alone is tearing black men a new hole to the point where these women feel confident. It made these women feel confident that to the point where women now say they will allow you to lead. You should a leader should never have to get permission. Now it's discretional. They might listen to you. They might say, okay, I might don't want to take off this short dress to go to the club. I might let him tell me what the hell to do. But nowadays it's not like, then they real opinionated, right? That's never in no other. Black women is the only women that could get away with doing black woman stuff. No other race of women, especially in other countries, get away with what black women get away with. Being opinionated in public, wearing most of these women, like in Muslim countries, they got to cover up their hair and their faces.
Hey, JP, you made a lot of interesting points. And in what other ways do you feel like a man provides for a woman?
The other ways that a man provides for a woman is sequentially what the government provide. Safety, security, protection, just being there emotionally for them, being there mentally for them. I'm not going to too much say spiritually because that's up in the air. But it's never been about financial. It's always about you could provide a sense of protection and provide a sense of emotion where a lot of men, especially black men, we was told to be soldiers instead of soulmates. So a lot of us men are very childish when it comes to expressing our emotions. So we don't know how to connect. And then we was told that it was gay. So we don't know how to really open up and be vulnerable around a woman. Granted, a lot of women have stepped on that.
That's a bar, JP. Soldiers instead of soulmates. That's a
Oh,
bar.
but you guys, but that's the thing. So JP's talking about men providing emotional stability, but on the other hand, he's saying a lot of you guys aren't able to because you weren't taught that or that was looked down upon. So it's like, which one is it? And that's why the conversation comes back to, for a provider, women are referring to finances because JP's correct. The majority of men out there, they don't, in terms of emotional stability, they are not able to meet our needs. They're not emotionally intelligent when it comes to a woman's needs.
Let me
It's a big but.
Well, JP, before you even retort, see, that's the thing, Carissa. This is the problem with the conversation that happens. So here's an opportunity. He said a lot, and then that's the last thing he said, and then that's what you hearken to, right? He mentioned so many reasons why women don't have to do certain things, right? So this emotional stability matters not if these first things or if these strongholds that he mentioned aren't torn down. So what about everything else he said before he said that last part?
So, I mean, with everything else he said, I agree to a lot of what he said, but then, and you know, and I hate to throw a but into this, in terms of women allowing a man to lead in the relationship, I'm going to be honest with you. Not every man deserves that level of respect. And I'm going to give you the reason. Let me explain myself. If, let's say, for example, there's a lot of situations in which the woman is the one working, paying all the bills, taking care of the household, and her man is home all day playing video games. Do you think she's going to give him the same level of respect or adhere to his leadership the way she would to a man who's out there working, busting his butt, operating his own business? No, unfortunately, those two men are not the same. And I'm just, quite frankly, I'm just being honest with you. With women, we admire a man that we can look up to. And I've dated men in which have made way more money than them. And the respect level changes when I meet a guy who's above me, a guy who I could look up to. That's the type of man in which I'm going to follow his leadership. I'm going, whatever it is that he needs from me, he's going to get. But if it's another person in which I feel as though his leadership is questionable, things of that nature, I think a lot of men have the impression that because they're a man, we're automatically supposed to follow their leadership. And I don't agree with that.
Well, you shouldn't be with him in the first place if you question his leadership. That's one, and it's a big but to what I was saying. The men that we talking about that's emotional avoidant, and the men that's like you say, because a lot of women would leave a man quicker if a man always at work compared to the man that's at home with her playing video games. So let us not forget that.
No, we're looking for the provider. So why would we leave said provider? Because those providers are typically always working.
Let him, JP, get the whole point, Chris. Well, see, that's what I'm afraid of, though, because you ignored a lot of his points the first time. So, JP, make this point right here, finish it, if you don't mind, and then let her respond directly, then make the next point, because I don't want what you're saying to be missed, because it's not all being addressed.
Okay. A lot of times, when you talk, these men that women complain about, we were created by women. I think women don't like to address that. At one point, we had an example of black men that going out there working and stuff like that. But soon as our women chose the government to lead her, all these conversations is moot because black women have chosen the government in the Eurocentric society to lead them. They didn't choose us. We no longer is chosen.
Keep that one, JP. right? Because you said that's the second time you reiterated that point, right? But remember, the
Yeah.
first time you said it, she addressed the last thing you said. So, Carissa, what
Mhm.
about that
Mhm.
point right there, where he's saying all the other things are moot because this part is still what the women are latching onto and leveraging over the men? That's the what about that
When
part?
he so when he refers to the systems, is he referring to the welfare system?
I'm referring to the welfare system and the education system. The education system for black women versus white women is two different systems. The system education for a black woman, financial success for a black woman, is used to weaponize to see no value in the black man. It always have been a system to instigate black men and black women away from each other. So, and just like the Willie Lynch, no matter if it's true or not, they always put the woman above. So, giving black women a whole lot of money above her man will make her do what y'all say right now, look less of him. And eventually, after so long, you're going to be choosing other races of men because you're going to feel like, since y'all say relationships is like a business, you will look at black men like they don't add up compared to other races of men.
Carissa, you want to respond?
Yeah, so in terms of that, honestly, I can't say I agree with what he's saying with that in terms of education and whatnot. Like, because honestly, like my friends group, we're all highly educated. We make money, so I don't agree with that. And also too with the men that the men that I date, they're high earners. So I personally, I don't really see that issue. But in terms of the conversation, the only way I could kind of see that being an issue is the welfare system, because I know that is very decisive. If my understanding is if there's someone with a felony in their background, they're not able to reside in Section 8 households. So I can see how that could separate the families, things of that nature. But other than that, I can't see how education or what have you would play a part in it.
JP, let
The
me just
fact
add this.
Or
Let me just
maybe
add
I'm
this real
missing a question, but I'm not
Yeah.
seeing.
So what he's articulating is mindset, right? The mindset of I don't need you because I have an education, because I have this so-called high-paying job. I think I heard you say when I was walking off, uh, women aren't dependent anymore, right? But the truth is, everybody is interdependent. But it's the mindset that's breaking up families, not the actual circumstance. So whether she on Section 8 saying, "Hey, I got a place to live, you don't," she treating him like X. If she got this education and she got this so-called money, she treating him like X. She's qualifying his leadership based on his dollar amounts that he earns, right? And that's where we're starting to run into an issue. So he's addressing the mindset of the women and how they think they got leverage, and then how this so-called leverage manifests in the earth.
But is it leverage or is it more so that she's trying to date a man that she's equally yoked with? So if it is someone who she has a great job, she's highly educated,
I got an answer
isn't
already.
it isn't
E-
it okay for her to want to
Yeah.
date someone who's on the
No,
same
so
level
here's the
as
thing.
her?
Well, here's the thing about equally yoked. I don't think people understand what that means, right? The yoke has to be whole, right? So money amount doesn't make it yoked up. You see what I'm saying? Right? What about your principles, guidelines, standards, what you're willing to kill and die for? That should where the yoke should be equal, not because he don't make 100,000 and I do, I gotta discard him. He's talking about mindset that needs to be addressed.
and,
Right.
and,
And JP,
and
go ahead. Chris, if y'all don't know if you want to respond, but JP, go ahead then. Well, let's get CT. And I think Sean was going to say something too.
Yeah, and no, and I was gonna say, and that all comes, and I just because
I'll be right
obviously the
back, Sean.
conversation is on provider, but there's other things that obviously you guys have to be on the same page with when you're looking to enter into a relationship. You have to be like-minded, things of that nature. But because the conversation is regarding a provider, that's where I'm mostly focused on right now. And in terms of it seems as though because I believe JP had mentioned something to the fact that black women are the ones who I guess were valuing the provider mindset, things of that nature. White women are too. I mean, I'm part of all these women groups online. And if anything, I would say white women are actually more vocal about it than black women are. And they're making themselves clear too that what they will deal with and what they won't deal with. And let's be quite frank. Have you ever seen a very high earning white woman with a man who's essentially not on her level? You're not going to see that. Like it's going to have to match with them.
The fact that you having this conversation about providing financially is go back to what I was saying earlier. You don't care about who the man is, right? Your main concern that he is qualified from what he got. And when I went back to go back to the education part, right? Those other racist women got their men, right? We don't have a whole bunch of white stepdaddies compared to the black stepdaddies. And what that shows when you got stepdaddies, that's a big indication is that these women have chosen a different route than the man that she decided. Because a lot of times we just place 100% the blame on the man on why the relationship is messed up without adding the woman. All of this stuff that we talked about, it been incentivized for the women to divorce herself from her man. I don't see no other races of women of their children growing up without a father or a stepfather in the amount of the black community. Majority, I would argue the majority, if they had a father figure, they were stepdads. The majority of the black community had stepdaddies to the point where if I come on here and say stepdaddies is a bad thing, you got all of these black women saying, no, the stepdaddies is more prevalent. You got more respect to bring your children a substitute father than his biological father. It don't have nothing to do with money. I think that y'all try to hold on to that and to use it as an excuse of why you have chosen the government over your race of men that you was created from.
Let's get CT in, and then Chris, if you got to respond, what's up, CT?
Panel.
Yeah.
JP, you are a gentleman and a scholar. I too went to college. I too have a master's degree, and I too have been around smarty arty, particularly blacks. A black woman with a degree, sir, is an absurdity. If you were to ask me, sir, they lead with their degrees. They lead with the title. They lead pretty much with some sort of artificial nonsense. Most of these women rely on government jobs. Most of these women, if you were to ask me, are participants in the destruction of the black race. I graduated college almost 20 years ago, sir, and I could tell you, most of these black women, they're married to their dogs. Most of these black women, they haven't created anything. They haven't created anything of note. You are doing everything right, sir, by impregnating, and it may sound crazy, you are doing everything right by impregnating multiple women, by having children and keeping the race going. Mm-hmm. I'm a college Negro, and I'm telling you the honest to God's truth, man. We haven't seized the day as people. So you are doing everything right by telling a black woman, get that ass in the kitchen, cook, clean, and be quiet.
Or get pregnant.
There's nothing wrong with be pregnant. There's nothing wrong with being educated, in my opinion. Okay, but the fact of the matter is that a woman, her natural place is in that kitchen, mopping the floor, cleaning up behind some kids, and micromanaging the household. Other than that, bro, I figured it out.
Or on a birthing table. If I ask Carissa how many kids she got, I bet she's gonna say one. How many kids you got?
How about this, JP? It's not about Carissa.
In general, okay.
Let's use macro here. It's about black women or women in general. the greatest thing a woman can do is be domestic, brother. That's the greatest thing a woman can do. You let these women get too smart. JP, when I dated back in the day, multiple women, as most black men do, I had to tell a girl one time on a date. She was talking about her little fancy degree, her fancy little job. And I said, what color are your panties, baby? What color? I don't give a goddamn about your degree. No man masturbates to your degree. Oh, yeah, you got an electrical engineering degree. Ooh, said no man ever. We want to know how big your areolas are. We've been like this for 1 million years, or 6 million, or 6,000 years if you are a Bible prophet. You're doing everything right, JP. And everybody says you're gaslighting JP. No, I'm not, bro. We are animals, brother. And you bring fear into people because you bring that mirror to humanity. Oh, this shit is made up, brother. Oh, I'm a such and such at my job. That's some new shit. For the most part of human history, we were nothing more than hunters and gatherers and farmers and fishermen. But I'm a executive vice president to the associate dean of such and such, and I work for some white man. That's bullshit, bro. So when people say I'm exploiting JP, I'm not gonna exploit this big ass nigga. I'm just telling you the truth of the matter. He's in his primal state. And all of us smarty arties who read books thinking we know everything. Nah, this man he's the greatest person I believe in America right now, to be completely honest with you. Go ahead, guys. Go ahead.
Hey, CT, real quick, right? Because I know you said a lot of things. You said that like a woman's rightful place is in the kitchen, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So just to tie it back into the topic, so do you believe that a man's rightful place is as the provider, which will allow her to be in the kitchen?
Yes, sir. Without a doubt. I agree.
Where did you learn that? Was it cultural? Was it in your household? Like, who taught you that part?
My mom is a smarty-arty woman. Mm-hmm. And my dad is a smarty-arty too. Mm-hmm. But my dad knows about 50 different things outside of some education book stuff. He knows carpentry, electrical work. I've seen him work on the roof. I've seen him do all these things growing up. He was book smart. But he was also a man. Mm-hmm. My mother, she was a smarty-arty. She's still, they're both still alive. She's smarty-arty. But at the end of the day, in my household growing up, my mom was cooking, cleaning. She was doing what a woman should do. With those smarty-arty degrees, I learned it from my household, man, growing up. And by the way, did you see Drewski with that Omega Psi Phi skit?
Omega Psi Phi, no.
Man, dude, you got to see this skit, man.
He did a Hebrew Israelite one too.
No, it was another one, Sean. He did an actual Q skit.
I saw both of them. Yeah.
Okay, dude, that shit was
funny as hell. I gotta see it.
So,
yeah, he got an answer for that one. But yeah,
so did your mom or dad explicitly teach you these things? Just observing.
Just observing. And what I've noticed is in my life, when we go outside of the actual human nature of things, that's when relationships are rocky. Man, some of the best women I've ever been with, including my wife, bringing you some water when you're working outside. I built a retaining wall for a chick I was dating a long time ago. She was a smarty-arty too. Man, it was nothing like when she bought me some ice water, some food. That's primal shit. All that book shit and school stuff, man, that didn't get me hard. Her bringing me some ice water in her shorts. Oh, man.
All right, so look, CT, your prescription. So for let's say for a guy with like JP, right? So maybe he's saying like he's not a guy with infinite resources or something like that. And then to merge that with Caressa's point about a man that should pay 75% at least. In those situations, does that man deserve that same treatment? Or
I'm gonna tell you why. First of all, this man has infinite resources. Mm-hmm. He'll tell you himself in my dig. This man can populate the entire planet. He's 6'3". He's a brute type Negro. That's what women really want. We've seen this man in real time. We've seen the women around him just loving him. He doesn't have a fancy little degree. He's not in some fraternity like all of us. At the end of the day, that's what they really want. This is why I tell people, study JP. This man is going to be remembered. Study this man. All that, you know, and I would admit a man should pay the bills. I would admit that. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, a woman should be domestic, period.
Wait, so stay there real quick, Caressa. Now, what you said, what you described if a man doesn't pay 75%, or you said pretty much when a man is, you know, on a higher tier than you, you know, you'll pretty much submit to him more willingly, right? So what I would describe that as conditional submission. Based on what Chaotic is saying, like, do you believe that what you're doing is conditional submission? And do men who are on their way up or who hadn't made it yet deserve submission as well?
Okay, so here's the thing. And again, a man who's on his way up is different from a man who has no ambition or no intention to do anything. So the men that I'm referring to, because the view for men is they believe just because they're the man in the relationship that automatically we're supposed to follow their lead, things of that nature. But if I have a man who's not motivated, not doing anything, I'm the one bringing in the income. At some point, I mean, I've earned some of that leadership in that relationship if I'm the one holding things down. That's the point that I'm making.
I bet not to cut you off, but does that man, let's say that's making $50,000. Mm-hmm. That's kind of where he's going to be. Does he deserve submission from his woman?
I think he does. I mean, if he's a hardworking man, if he's going to work every day, coming home, I mean, maybe the income isn't where it could be. However, if he's doing his thing, yeah, I think he should. But if I'm referring to the man who's pretty much a brokey, using the new terms, the man who's sitting there playing video games all day, who is waiting for his woman to come home from work to cook him a warm meal, no. That's the type of man that I'm referring to. But I mean, if it's someone who's able-bodied, going to work every day, of course he deserves respect. Of course he should be the leader of his household. Of course.
Carissa, what you think that will continue life? What you think a man will want to continue life? Legacy, right? As far as like businesses and stuff like that. Because if y'all just focus more on money, right? I take it that you're going to need this money and these resources to pass along, right? Am I right?
So I'm sorry, what's the specific question?
The goal of marriage or the goal of your relationship. You want man, and the goal of this man to bring in all of these resources. Mm-hmm. What are the resources for? Is it to pass down to your children?
It's well, that's part of it. Yes, to pass down to future generations, but more so, women were looking for stability. Because like I mentioned before, there are a lot of men who are out there dating for a come up. I know there's a lot of women that are out there doing the same thing too. But as women, and I'm going to be honest with you, why would I want to date a man who's unemployed, not able to provide in my household when that's something I'm able to do for myself?
Do you think most women are dating for a come up? You think most women are dating for a come up?
If I think most women are dating for a come up, I would say no. I would say for women, and again, a lot of women, we've dealt with some situations. We've dealt with men that are not qualified to date, men that shouldn't even be considering dating.
So what do you if you find that man, what would you bring? Give me like 3 examples.
Hey, JP, my bad. That's gonna go down. True been waiting for a long time and raising his hand. Bro.
Thank you. How y'all doing?
We're gonna get far away from each other.
I want to ask Carissa a question. how is it possible, ma'am? Because I'm gonna assume that you're an intelligent woman, and you say that you surround yourself with intelligent women. So how is it possible that an intelligent woman like yourself and women like you keep choosing men that somehow, some way, at the start of him asking you to be with him, all of a sudden this relationship now shifts to where you have to step up and be present and take an active leadership role? How's that possible?
I feel like with certain men, they may portray their situation as something it's not. A lot of men, they are trying to put their best foot forward in the beginning, so they may make it seem as though they're making a certain amount of money, and in all reality, sometimes that's not the case. So that's how an intelligent woman can end up in that type of situation. I mean, I hate to say it, but in terms of dating, we're all trying to put our best foot forward. So essentially, they're selling a dream, I guess you could say.
So the way I heard that, thank you. The way I heard that is that the vetting process that you were in enacting is not a solid one. It's not a verifiable one, because you, and this is not to pick on you, you sound like a lot of the women that come up and have this same narrative of man that all seems to end up in a situation where all he knows how to do is provide penis in video games, and that somehow, some way, he was smart enough to get a woman like yourself who's resourceful and can manufacture a relationship financially and be held down, so on and so forth. Um, would you say that sounds about right? Because
Yeah,
how
no,
is the
right.
okay?
And I would agree with you. And I've been there. Obviously, I'm mature and older now, so that's not something that I can say would get past me now. But in my 20s, for sure, I've let a few in that shouldn't have been there. I can definitely admit to that, and I accept responsibility for that as well, because that was part of me messing up in the vetting process. But at
So,
least, mhm.
Okay,
so real
so
quick. Oh, go ahead. My bad.
my other question would be, because you said relationships. This is my
Mhm.
perspective. I'm not speaking for the other fellas. I don't believe that the relationship belongs to women. I think that that is where I get a little lost in how you guys express things. Every man I know that's in a relationship, he asked you to be with him. I don't know many women who request a relationship. So what I get confused on is, if we're asking you to be with us, right? We must have had a vision. We may have had some level of an idea. And your participation in a relationship that we cultivated in our mind before you showed up, you decided to be in. Now, all of a sudden, because you get a promotion or a certification, you believe that now the relationship shifts towards the direction of you having more power or clout, or I don't understand how that works, because a degree, I'll ask you like this: when you go to get an education and you become qualified educationally, what is it for? Where is it applicable in life?
For career purposes, I would say.
Okay. So since we're dealing with each other on a human level, humanistically, how does that matter from man to woman on a romantic level, on a life level?
I mean, romantically, I could see where that shouldn't be emphasized as much. I can see that.
So why is it coveted? As far as I heard you even use the verbiage of equal earlier, and I want to know, with women like yourself, what are you guys trying to get us men to understand that we're not quite getting with the newfound, advancement of women and careers and so on and so forth?
Right. I mean, honestly, women are just tired of being used and abused. We're tired of dating the men who essentially have nothing to offer. If you're someone like myself who grew up in a traditional household, I've seen my grandfather, and again, my family was poor. My grandfather was a farmer. So when I'm talking about a provider, everybody's going to provide within their own limits. My grandfather was a farmer, but yet he was a provider. My grandmother did not have to worry about a thing. So I think the thing is, with women, we're emphasizing that because a lot of these men, if you look at dating nowadays, they want to take a stroll in the park, they want to sit in the car. It's very low effort. And that's why women are setting expectations. Well, I guess you can say expectations earlier. And we're saying, like, you know what? That's not what we're looking for. A lot of us are very traditional. A lot of us do want to go on that date. We do want to get to know you better in a different setting. it's hard for me to pay attention to my date if we're going on a hike. I'm winded, I'm sweating, I'm tired, I want to sit down. That's
But the
but
truth, y'all gonna go wherever the fuck we take y'all. That's the truth. Like that's the truth. For the right,
no, we're not.
for the
That's
right
not how that works, Sean. Because
wherever the fuck we take y'all.
that's not how a date works. Every man that I've dated, we've spoken about where we're going in advance. And if that does not work for me, I will let him know that does not work for me. And I will suggest something that does.
So you're the outlier. But most women, if they really feeling you, it don't fucking matter. They going wherever the fuck you take them. It don't matter. My bad, Chaotic.
Oh, I just wanted to ask Carissa a question. Well, it's first of all a request. Can you close your eyes and allow me to ask you one question? Yes.
Okay.
What is your favorite mop brand? And that's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem. Now, me as a man, I'm not like my father, but I can name you about 3 or 4 Milwaukee, Black & Decker, DeWalt.
Yeah, it's
But you have
the
to ask-
$100,000 that I make each year. That's what works for me. That's my favorite mop brand.
Carissa, sweetheart.
Don't
I'm not
sweetheart
here.
me.
Ma'am,
Don't
ma'am, I'm not here to argue. But the question is, why were you unable to name a brand of a mop?
Because I pay for a housekeeper. So I don't need to pay, I don't need to know the name of a mop when I can afford a housekeeper.
Oh, JP, let me just finish. Carissa, you are not the problem, sweetheart. I apologize. You said don't call you sweetheart. You are not the problem. We've fallen as a society. If I had children, which I don't, I would tell my son the first date with a female is for her to invite you over, and she should have food that she's made. Now, even if she's 16, or I dated when I was a kid, so 16, cook and clean for a man. That's an initiate. Did you pledge, Carissa?
I did not.
Okay, there's a process, right? Follow me on this one, Carissa. There's a process. I could be wrong, right? But see, there's an initiation, right? There's a process, right? These are like little things, little trinkets. I appreciated all the women that I slept with, the ones who were really domestic over the hoes. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. A hoe is fun for a night, but the woman who cooked and cleaned, there's love in that shit. Man, mother F a date. If I had a son, hey man, mother F taking this broad out, have her cook for you. Have her show you what a woman is about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost 50 now. I'm 41, but it's taken me a long time to really master this stuff. Carissa, I get it. You're a smarty arty. You have all types of fancy degrees. You make $100,000 a year. Not once did my penis get hard. But if a woman said she's and mind you, it's not just you, but anyone. But if women said, hey man, we cook, we clean, man, you would get a lot more attention.
Damn.
Man,
I love a woman that's getting money, man.
Hold on, Sean. Let me ask Chaotic Truth a question. Chaotic, you mentioned, us three, me, Sean, and him talked about our plundering, before we decided to start focusing and being more committed, right? So in that process, you just kind of mentioned there were women who cooked and cleaned and were domesticated, right? Yeah. But you didn't make those women wives. So I'm curious.
Exactly.
And I knew you're going to ask.
I got a question for you because, it's kind of tied to what we talk about, Chaotic. What would you think would be a reasonable response from a woman? Let's say if she went through that process like 10 times, what would be a reasonable response on how she prioritizes connection with a man? What do you think would be reasonable?
She keeps doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I would, if I were a woman, I would rather do that than to give up the coochie on a one night stand and be a hoe. You know.
No, I got you. I'm saying you. I'm sorry.
And me personally, you know, I was silly in my 20s and early 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Most black men don't want to get married in their 20s. That's for damn sure. You know. So a lot of that was me, but I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
What type of food do you like? Oh, I like meatloaf. I dated a girl from the Congo 20 years ago. Beautiful female, man. My God in heaven. Taught me a little bit Lingala, the little language there. I go to her uncle was a professor at the college that I went to. She said, you know, come over. Man, she stayed with her uncle. And he stayed off campus. And I go to the basement. Man, it's a sea of food and alcohol. I said, who is this for? She said, it's for you. I said, God damn. Carissa, I didn't care that she was a nursing student. I cared that she had food and alcohol for me, sweetheart. Man, you have daughters, teach them, cook, clean, the brands of mops and brooms, getting on their knees and scrubbing the floors. See, I'd rather teach my daughter, hey, get on your knees to cook. I mean, to clean. Don't get on your knees to, you know, son cock. This is what parents need to teach their kids, man. I'm being serious, Carissa. I'm telling you, if I don't have kids, but I wish I could consult parents. I wish I could. You telling us you made 100,000 a year? That sounds hot, particularly from a guy like me who only makes 20,000 a year. But the fact of the matter is, ma'am, why didn't you know the name of a mop?
I explained that to you. I pay a housekeeper to come out and take care of my house for me. So,
Carissa,
JP, one second, brother. Because I feel like, you know, I know Chaotic do his thing, man. He good at it too. I'll give him that. He's good at it. And I think he kind of slipped and went to the troll again. Just for 1 second, Chaotic, like, because I think on both sides, right? Because let's talk about men, right? Who let's say they're the men who are more intentional and they go out and they pursue women, they do the right thing, they take women on beautiful dates, right? Carissa saying the park is not cool enough. So this guy's taking women to a nice restaurant, he's doing the right thing, but each time the deal is not sealed. And there's a response from that. You know, you hear a lot of dudes not talking about, we're not taking women on dating them. I'm tired of wasting money. So I'm just curious again, Chaotic, what would you think would be a reasonable response for a woman who does what you say? They cook and clean for every guy that they fancy, right? And then that guy, you know, he get the box, he kick it with her for 3 months, and then he realized, nah, never mind. And he kind of sent her back to the streets. What do you think would be a reasonable response for a woman who's had that scenario happen a few times? I understand what you're saying, what she should do, but I'm just asking, what would be a reasonable response? Like, seriously.
You're putting me between a rock and a hard place right now.
CT, read it for me.
Oh, yeah. What's up, Unc, with the $5 super chat? Guys, give Unc a big thumbs up, $ emoji. Thank you so much, man. Unc says, all the answers, none of the outcomes. I'll be the bad guy and ask her how all this goofy-ish is working out for her. Where your man at, Carissa? Where's your man at?
Oh, my man's at home working on his millions right now. That's where he's at.
Mike with the $5 super chat and the membership. Salute to you, Mike. Positivity's coming your way, buddy. Says, can he tell you what to do with your money since he would be a man you are looking up to? Assuming he's doing his 70%. Carissa, go ahead.
That is correct. So actually, I had that conversation earlier with someone who I've been dating for over a year now. And he's been helping me out with making some financial decisions. So yeah, I definitely would take heed to that.
Can I answer the host question? The thing, sir, is
Hold on.
men.
TT, we got to finish it. I'll read them.
Oh, sorry.
AP with the $5. Every man deserves that respect as long as he does not neglect or abuse her. Choose better if you can't respect the man properly.
Yeah, I'd agree.
AP with the $5. JP, drop that damn talking point. If it's a grown man, he's responsible for his outcomes. Quit blaming quote unquote mama. What talking point was that?
He talking about when I said women created us.
Mm-hmm.
Will with the $5 super chat. Carissa, is money more important than character? Thank you so much, Will. Salute to you.
No.
Yes.
In my opinion, the answer is no.
Okay.
Well, in your sentiments, the answer is yes. Your answer
Right.
right now is no.
Right.
Because what you share, this is a rhetorical super chat. Essentially. You know what I mean? Onika Sue, brother. Onika Sue with the $2 says, "I'm tired of these woes bad mouthing video games." I like it. He knows.
Perfect.
What up, kid? Been a member for 22 months. Says a woman can't let/allow me to lead. I'm going to do my thing with or without her. She can get in line or get lost.
That's understandable.
AP accountability with the $10 super chat. Salute to you, AP accountability. Salute to you. No disrespect, sis. How has that worked for women who was raised to be a wife? As soon as you make demands about where you won't go, he deems you I can't see that part. He deems you as not wife. Oh, okay.
Not his wife. And that's fine because not everyone I date is for me and I'm not for everyone. So that's understood.
No man accepts demands from women.
Unc Beach streaming with the $2 super chat. She lying. She said she was single. Well, technically, she is single by law. I mean, yeah, that's technically, yeah, you're single if you're not married, technically. So.
Can I ask this question before I lose my thought? Oh,
go ahead.
So, Carissa, what do you think a woman is worth to a man? Not what she worth to society. I think y'all blended in it, the two together. I think that it's two different types of worth. And what I've been hearing from you is you more worthy to the society, but you're not marrying society. You're not asking the society to sacrifice his life for you. So, what is your worth? What you think a woman's worth to a man? Then I want to give you the answer to what I think.
Right. So honestly, I believe the woman is his rib, like she's his backbone. I believe she should be his team member, his partner, essentially his everything, because marriage, relationship, that should be a partnership. So I do believe she should be, aside from God, his mother, she should be someone who's heavily valued in his life. And I do believe that's somebody who should have some significant importance in his life.
So here's, most men would agree with me. The worth is of a woman. A lot of women don't even know their worth to a man. They know their worth to Eurocentric standards. You don't know your worth to a man. And a lot of men will say that a woman's worth is her beauty, the energies that she brings, the peace, feminine, mothering, nurturing, woo out the bam, right? And then her fertility. So let's just say, for an example, you say you make $100,000, which I think that's a masculine trait. Because if we live in a real society, you don't have the ability to protect that money. If a man see you with $100,000, you say, man, come and give me that. You don't have that strength to protect yourself from him, right? I just think making money, that's a man's thing. And so let me ask you, like, let's say we find a woman of your caliber, right? She got a good career. She make good money. She blew out the band, right? But problem is she can't have babies. One of I say that, well, from my standard, you spoke from your standard. One of us men say, woman, you're not worth to be dated. You're not worthy to be married because you can't provide what a woman's supposed to provide and give me. That's fatherhood. The ultimate. I just want to land it with this: the ultimate gift a man and woman can share with each other. I'm going to speak on women. The ultimate thing that a woman can give to a man, as far as the femininity and far as submission. The ultimate femininity is when she get on her back and open up them legs and let me come inside of her. The ultimate submission that a woman can give to a man is at the hospital birthing my baby. And you are not able to do that, you need to be in the house. So when we meet a woman, I don't care if she don't want to have kids or scientifically can't have kids because of some woman in her womb. Let's just say a woman come on this platform and said, damn, Jay Prince, I like what you said. I want to be with you. And I asked her, how's your fertility? Well, I can't have kids. We cancel her out. She's pointless at that point. What would your response be to that?
I would have no response to that. I mean, that's what you're looking for, what you're not looking for. Everyone has their own preference, and that's your preference. So I don't speak on other people's preferences. So that's fine. If that's a non-preference for you, then that's understandable.
Hey, let me force you to answer the question. So let us say you got one child. You seem old. Wonder if every man that you try to meet today, well, use a nice woman, you make money. I think the only man gonna be interested in your money is the broke ones, guys like me, so I could use you, right? Because men that got money don't need your money. So one of every man that you get with, say, Carissa, I want me another child. You can't do that.
That's who. Who told you that I can't? Did I tell you that?
No, hypothetically, right? Because right now we all getting up age, and there's something called geriatric, where women can't get pregnant at a certain age, and you getting to that point where I don't know how old you is, but I'm quite sure you close to that point where if you do have a baby, it'd be a miracle. It's not like when you was in your 20s or your teens, right? So let's say you get to a point where you talk to every man, they say, Carissa, man, like, I'm taking a risk on you. You 40, 39, 35. It's going to be rough to get a baby by you. I don't think this is worth it.
And that's fine. That's not my person. Like I said earlier, not every man I date is going to be my person. So that's fine.
So let me. I'm kind of interested in the question. Hold on, real quick, CT, and then we got to get everybody else into, right?
Yeah, I was gonna.
Chris, what would you say if men said if a woman cannot have a child, she's less valuable? Do you think that's an okay point for men to come to if a woman is unable to birth a child?
No, I think that's just his opinion.
No. So let's say
value is
men were
not placed
saying,
on my womb. So
okay, because we're just trying to see what disqualifying factors are, right? So, for instance, you won't date a man because he's not making a certain amount of money. If
right,
you're
it's an
unwilling to be
opinion.
with him by proxy, if you're not willing to be with him because you don't see the value in him, right? And so, is it okay if men say you're not able to have a baby? They would deem her less valuable. Is that logical? Does that make sense?
I see where you're going with that question. But again, my opinion is just that it's his opinion. I mean, everyone has a preference. So if that's how he feels, that's fine. I mean,
Well,
that
no,
wouldn't
so
sway
well,
me
let me.
either
So
way.
this is the thing because you answered it the same way with JP. I'm just trying to see if we can frame it so I can get the understanding, right? So women to have a baby, right? That should be something she should be able to do, right? Generally speaking, right? So if a woman's unable to have a baby,
Hmm.
does that make her less valuable? Not an opinion thing.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. So you're saying that that's not an important thing for a woman to be able to do is have a baby?
I'm not saying it's not an important thing, but I'm saying that doesn't determine my value.
Okay, so this woman's able to reproduce. This woman's not. You saying that their value is the same?
I would say so. Yes.
How?
And because again,
I'm interested in the
my
logic.
and again, we value. Everyone has their own interpretation of value. This person may view me as someone who's not valuable. The next
You
person
don't
may be
determine
like, you
your
know what, that's
value.
a hell of a woman.
You don't determine your value. The opposite sex does.
Well, let me
And
hold on,
again, and
JP.
that's
Hold
why
on,
I said
JP.
the
Hold on.
next person
Hey,
will find me valuable.
Chris, let's say this. Let's say this.
Mhm.
The men, both men are 40, right? this man has a job, this man does not. They have the same value.
No, I'm going with the man who has the job.
But you see, okay.
But that's why I'm saying it's an opinion. So
No,
that's why
no,
I'm
wait.
saying
No, it's the question is answered, right? We just had to get there. Okay. Let me get. Go ahead, CT.
I'm about to
Condition.
leave.
Oh, okay,
I'm about
okay.
to leave. So I was gonna say this real quick to answer
Give
Safe
everybody-
Space Shad.
Okay.
You asked a good question. Men should be held accountable, even if they are young guys, for their sexual promiscuity. You are correct. I'm gonna land my plane here. When I was a kid growing up in the 90s, we were over sexualized as boys. You know, we had older cousins, we had teachers, men. Well, you'll get you some pussy, man. You'll get you some cooch. We had teachers telling us this shit, male teachers. So we weren't really told to appreciate the value of a woman. We were just told that, you know, to pretty much just pop your cherry, which is a good and bad thing to it. So yes, I did have good girls growing up who were very domestic, but because we were over sexualized, get you some pussy now, you know, people hitting on your shoulder. Oh, so it was like a space race, but it was like a coochie race. But if I had a son, I would say, listen, if you got a good girl, man, cherish that girl, man. You know, court her. That's what I do. So to answer your question, Safe Space Chat. Guys, salute to y'all. I'll be out of here.
Hey, CT,
All
be
right,
safe. Hey, CT.
Yo,
I gotta shoot you an email. I got a question for you. I'll email you. This evening.
sounds
when
good.
I
I'll
get
be looking out for it. Salute.
I got.
Peace.
We can't let that go. How you set that up, brother? Because I think that was great. She was able to, you know, without hesitation, place value on the man with the job comparable to the one without, but struggle to see that both are functional. And I believe that if a woman can't birth a child, which is a function, there's no coming back from that. There's nothing she can do to repair that, where a man that doesn't have a job can go get a job. That's a fixed situation. That's what I see to be the biggest disparity in this space, is that we have women who don't seem to understand these very simple things, but without hesitation can answer with passion, like, yeah, no, they're not the same. I don't understand that.
I don't think she understand that.
I think it's in. Go ahead, Sean, and then let's get he knows. Cody in the building. We got Be Nice in the building. So
I didn't get that from that.
I don't think he heard you, JP. Oh, you heard you.
Yeah, true. I didn't get that from that. You know what I got from that? A woman who can't have a kid is so fucking valuable to me. Don't come around me with your fucking fertility. Don't fucking come around me with your stupid fucking fertility. Because you know what happens, true? They see that nice car you was driving in, the great smile, and they say, oh, yeah, I want to replicate this nigga. And
why is that, Sean?
Because women will see you. They will see the things you have. They will see your appearance, and they want to fucking trap you. I don't know if y'all have ever been in a situation where a woman literally is trying to steal your semen. My nigga, don't bring your fertility around me.
Yeah.
No value to Sean. Sean wants no more kids. So I from what I heard, she was saying, you know, for one person, yeah, okay, if you can have kids, okay, or you don't want to have kids, it's valuable. For me, it's invaluable if you can have kids. I don't care. I'm not having any more kids. That's all I got from her, is that one man may love it, one man may not give a fuck about it. That's all I got from what she was saying.
But she removed the fact, she removed the fact, Sean, real quick. I'll give it to JP. That when asked if a woman is of equal value, absolutely. Clearly, though, when it comes to us, we are mandated to function. And I think that HAMP asking that question is perfect, because clearly most women, nothing's wrong with their bodies. They can produce, cool, whatever, if they're not old, right? But the fact that you can't even admit that in the eyes of men, we're saying, yo, I know you're not rocking with it, Sean. You like, keep that baby making factory over there. However, I'm saying with the rest, we got to be able to say you're not the same. You're not as valuable as her.
The answer would still be true, because like the only value of a woman is not her having kids. So the answer that she's saying, and I'm not trying to cape, I swear to God, I'm just saying, like, the only value is literally not just in her having kids. So just like the only value in a man is whether or not he can pay 75% of.
No, you're not trying to cape, but you are caping based on the answers that you're giving. So you're saying no, because you're saying that's not women's only value.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed, nor was that ever said.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think
So
true into that. My bad.
no, because nobody was saying she's not valuable. We said this woman cannot have a kid. This woman can have a kid. Is the woman that can have a kid more valuable? That was the question. It wasn't about does she have zero value. You see. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm hearing the answer. We understand it, right? But so because people have these preferences, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she was unable to see the preference point when it came to men having a job or not. So the answer should have been consistent. There may be a preference in which a woman wants a man to be home, right? Because she want that nigga to see, you know what I mean? So you can make that argument. All I'm saying is make the argument consistently. If it's because what she's saying, it's only preference based. So let it stay preference based when it comes to jobs and everything else.
I still disagree.
Why?
I think you gave a great explanation, but I still disagree.
What would be the reason to disagree?
So say once again, if I don't want to have kids, I don't value a woman that can have kids. It has literally no
right?
place. Yeah, and that's what she was arguing.
So if I'm an Oprah and I'm a millionaire, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't need a nigga to work. I need a nigga to be there for me, right? But and so that's what I'm saying. If it's preference, the answer got to be consistently just preference. But when it was the thing that she was partial to, right? Now the preference left, and the man without a job was instantly less valuable. That's what I'm addressing. I'm not saying I'm not. Her opinion is what it is, you know. But I'm saying the fact that it changed based on what she's partial to or she's judgmental about, that's the inconsistency that I'm pointing out specifically. But you're right, it is a preference thing, but just let's be consistent on that.
And Sean, just real quick, y'all know y'all want to go. Sean, the statement that I wanted to make is that I think y'all men think that money makes the world go round, and money is the root of everything. I say y'all gonna call me crazy or laugh at me until you really get off the program and really think about what I'm saying. Sex is the gatekeeper of life. Sex is the gatekeeper of generations. Sex is the gatekeeper of the future, not money, not nothing else. So when sex is the backbone of all of this, guess what? We all came here for what? From sex. We didn't come here from no job. We didn't come here from no degrees. And nobody on this planet right now was birthed by a job. We was birthed by sex.
Sex gonna keep you broke in the hood, bro. Sex ain't shit, my nigga. I had a lot of sex. That shit didn't get me.
No, you absolutely wrong on that.
Get my family out the hood. Sex ain't paying for my daughter's college. Sex actually.
That's man-made stuff.
No, sex held me back in life. That's the truth about sex.
Sean, I disagree. I think that we allow
within a marriage. You know what I'm saying?
All I'm saying, Sean, I think we have allowed Eurocentric standards to dilute how naturally, because at the end of the day, there was a time where people were surviving without no college degree, without no fiat dollar bill, without none of that. People is the wealth. The woman wealth is in her fertility. She multiply you. Be fruitful and multiply. I hate to use the biblical frame because I don't believe in it, but she's multiply you when these women give you babies. So that's where I think a masculine man is how many kids he got, not how much money he got.
So that's different from sex, just for the record, because I thought you were talking about sex.
Yeah,
and
that's
not.
what he meant.
I am talking about because sex. When sex first started, we didn't have condoms. That's unnatural. At one point, I don't know, we had diseases. I wasn't there at the time, but I think that having sex is why we here. That's why we have a future. Money is not going to continue a future. Money don't make the world go round. Sex is the root because it brings babies. It brings the future.
JP, you see that Elon Musk has got approved for $1 trillion payout? Think of that trillion.
Okay.
A whole election was just bought for $250 million, which is a drop in the bucket. And
that trillion don't mean nothing if you don't got kids.
You telling me that sex and reproduction is more important than who the fuck is pulling off the strings in life?
Absolutely.
So Ham can quit his business. I can quit my businesses and shit, and we can just reproduce.
I will quit everything to be able to have more babies. That's a fact. $1 trillion don't mean nothing. So that means okay, let me ask you with that. That means your child is worth $1 trillion. You would cash her in because the $1 trillion is more value than a baby.
My brain, my ambition is potentially worth that. Fuck all that kid shit. You know what I'm saying?
I think the $1 trillion just help you, have your little maintain while you're on life. But what's going to continue your legacy is your grandchildren, your children, their grandchildren. When people look at kids and try to trace their parents, grandparents, they don't care about how much money they was making. They be like, okay, Sean is my granddaddy. Such is my grandmama. They don't give a damn about how much money you making throughout your time.
So what if you leave out a bunch of fucking degenerate kids that are fucking losers that don't do shit?
Degenerate is subjective.
And we argue and debate and recite your accomplishment for fucking centuries.
Degenerate is subjective. Those are labels that I'm trying to run away from.
Why do you know Martin Luther King's name? Is it because he had kids or because he was one of the greatest humans to ever human? Why do you know his name? Did you meet him? Malik Shabazz, why do you know his name? Is it because of his fucking
cherry pick who they wanted to talk about?
Yeah. Bro, these kids, cool, they great. We love them. Fuck all that. It's about accomplishment in life, my nigga.
One of your third granddaddy would have had the same mindset as you and said, F them kids, like, I don't want no woman come around me. Then guess what? Your parents would have been born and you won't be here talking right now.
If my third granddaddy had that mindset, I wouldn't have been picking roaches out of the fucking cornflakes.
You won't be alive.
I wouldn't have been sharing milk with my brothers.
But you wouldn't have not been alive.
I'm just, man, look, I get what you're saying. We're just gonna disagree on that, bro. I don't want to hold up the conversation.
I think it's an interesting point to argue. I'm not even argue. I think the discourse y'all having is civil, so I shouldn't even have said that word. I think that I kind of want to finish it a little bit, but I just want to get everybody in real quick. And who knows, they might have some dope offerings too. Shaw, you got anything before I get He Knows in, and then Be Nice, then Cody?
We can keep rocking.
He Knows. What's good, kid? What's up, Callie?
Hey, good afternoon, HAMP and panel, man.
Good morning.
I just wanted to touch on kind of the disconnect Carissa had and speak to the chat a little bit. Generally speaking, for men, the fertility and a woman's willingness to fall into a man's frame is just as valuable as the protection and the provision that they expect from us. All this stuff with the degrees on the women's side and how accomplished they are only as important to us as they are to women when it comes to our personality if we're not a guy out there getting it. So I just feel like a lot of women don't really know how to make that connection or that jump when they talk about, well, I'm not concerned about a man's money and his personality matters, but if he doesn't make this certain amount of money, then he's off the board anyways. So like, I just feel like in general, a lot of women aren't understanding that you being able to fall in line with the so-called leaders is just as important as a man's paycheck. And I don't know why it's seeming to be so hard for women to actually make that leap or take that jump. And that's probably why we have so many single women out here now. I personally blame feminism. I think that's a perfect example of what she was saying of third generation feminism and what's going on right now in the community, personally. So I just probably either wanted to hear some insight on that and just touch down on it because I don't want to call it delusion because she seems like a very smart intellectual woman, no disrespect to her, but it just seemed very, very delusional. She did not hesitate. I know CT touched on that and I know Jay Prince was touching on it, but that to a man, that is just as valuable as you guys believe our protection and provision is. You get what I'm saying? Another thing also, what was that?
Well, no, I'm saying maybe we can get a reply. Callie, did you hear everything he said? What's your thoughts on it?
No, I've been absent for the last 30 minutes. I'm just trying to catch up. I joined the panel because it was like 9 of y'all and like one of her. So I just came up.
I don't think she's by herself. You saying it's just gender?
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know what everybody's opinions was over the last 30 minutes. I just came up because gender.
Got you.
Well,
Thank you, Caressa.
maybe we can ask her directly now that
Thank
she's
you,
back.
sis. I appreciate that.
All right, Caressa. Whoa, did you hear what he knows is saying, Caressa?
I only heard a piece of it. I was logging on for most of it, so I
Yeah,
didn't
I think
hear.
we gotta. If we want somebody to kind of respond to us, we gotta condense down the thing we want them to respond to. So he knows. Can you quickly rephrase and condense what you wanted her information on?
Uh, do you understand that to a man, the fertility and your willingness to fall into a man's frame is equally as valuable to us as our protection and provision is to you guys?
I think that's some men, because in my dating experience, the majority of the men that I've dated, they don't even want kids. So I think that's
Did
your opinion, and I understand that, and that might be the opinion of others, but that's not the opinion of all.
did those men work out? Like, what are the results from those men? I would ask, not to pry too
I
much.
mean, I'm dating, so dating is a part of a process of finding your perfect match, and I can say fertility has never been the deal breaker in the dating process.
There's no
Chris,
such thing as a perfect match.
one point of clarification: did the majority of the men that you were dealing with, did they already have kids?
They did, yes, correct,
So
and they're older.
you saying they didn't want any more kids?
They did not want any more, correct.
Okay, see, more changes the reply significantly, right? If they
Mhm.
didn't have kids and didn't want kids, now that's the intriguing part that we need to dive into. If they already had kids, didn't want any more, we'd be like, okay, you see what I mean?
Mhm.
So, like, I could see that, like, okay, yeah, like Sean saying, I don't want no more fucking kids. I
Yeah,
understand that he got one already, though. You know what I mean?
like she in her late 30s. What man is around 40 something looking for more kids? I
More,
just
Not
yeah.
me.
Me,
no, Sean.
I
The point of clarification was that's why I was asking, did they want any more kids? Meaning they already had kids. That makes sense. If they just didn't have kids, that would be the intriguing part of the conversation. That's all I'm saying.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just needed to clarify that question. Did you have one more? And you talk. Hey, I don't know if you could put your cadence on 1.25 times speed. You know.
Is that me?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't even, bro. I'm not a laptop guy. I don't even know. I work with my hands
It's saying, can you
outside.
talk
Oh
fast?
no, I was saying just talk faster. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, okay, okay.
Mm.
I done halfway lost my train of thought now.
All praises.
Yeah, you can move on to the next person. I just lost my train of thought. Kids just ran by.
The kids
I
are fucking
swear,
like the
kids
kids
just ran
really.
by three of them. So
All
it's
right,
like
let
I
me
just
get.
lost my train of thought.
You know they gonna break some shit.
On
Be nice.
everything.
Be nice. What's goody?
What up? What up? How we doing, man?
What's good? How you?
I'm good. I'm good. So I'm just coming in, and the first thing I want to say is like, obviously, people have their own opinions about relationships, but at the end of the day, if you actually only see value in the opposite person because of something that actually can be taken away or disappear at any time, you don't actually like the person. You like what they're attached to. So that's what I think. And based on the things that she said, I'm not trying to dissect her because I don't really have an issue with what she's saying. But that's what I hear is that you actually don't see the value in the human, in the actual person's being, in their experience, just like it's your experience as well.
So
You
she don't
talking about
like
a
the man.
job?
She yeah. So is he saying to be nice? She's saying you don't. She doesn't. Not she or that archetype doesn't like the man. They like what the man can provide. That's what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. What y'all
I'm
think?
just yes, I agree. However, I think that's unfortunately what everybody does. Men do the same thing. We just got through talking about. I was kind of letting the conversation go, and I think from my personal vantage point, I think we kind of it strayed from again my personal vantage point to kind of like the similar talking points, because myself, Hamp, and Sean have said the majority of our life we weren't looking for commitment. Even CT said he had women that cooked, did all the things that men said they value, and those women didn't get commitment from us. So we have to like be honest about that when we had this conversation, because it happens on both sides. So I asked CT if that's the reality for women, right? They're experiencing guys like me and Sean and Hamp, where they do these things that men say are valuable, and then they get sent back to the streets. What would be a reasonable response from women in a scenario like that? And then I'll say on the other side, right, for those guys, because I wasn't that guy the majority of my life that was doing all this intentional dating, and every girl I met, I was taking her through this intentional process. I'm doing that now, but in my 20s, I wasn't, right? But for the guys that were, what would be a reasonable response for guys who was taking girls on dates to find his wife, and then after he spent $200-300 on food or whatever, she kicked him to the curb? Because I think that's what we see now. Oh shit, what happened?
Is women? Do you think commitment is natural for men? I don't think commitment is natural for men or women.
Well, hold on. That's kind of a little bit of an adjacent point. Before we go there, I and JP, this is the reason why I'm slowing it down, because Shaw said everybody does that. I don't know, man.
I don't agree.
I think
again, like I said, hell, what I learned when I came to the internet, these were the most righteous men in the world. I just have to say, I didn't grow up around all these intentional guys that were from the age of 15 to 40. They were out in the world looking for their wife. I'm sorry, man. God didn't bless me with the amazing men that come to the internet to talk about these situations.
I'm thinking about what you're saying, and I'm saying the fact that men had no intention other than vagina, he literally not with her for what she can provide. Like, he not even vetting her out to know enough about her. You see, to say, oh, she checks this by this. He trying to fuck.
That's the point, hell. That's it.
So
she's a woman.
Is that the provision?
Wait, I'm sorry. I cut you off. My bad. Go again.
Are you equating that most men just want sex as the provision that women provide, and you're likening that to all of that? What Be Nice was saying?
Yeah. How Be Nice talks about how women looking at a man for his provision, she's counseling out the rest of that man. And I'm saying, for most guys, from my estimation, majority of our life, the box is what we're after. We're not after her heart and her commitment and her loyalty. We get to that point, but that's not most guys' origin story at all.
But I guess is the difference is there's a disqualifying factor with the women. The men, are they disqualifying women? Like, what? How do we? Is it a 1-to-1 reconciliation? Maybe it's not, because it doesn't seem like niggas is disqualifying the women. You see, by what they do or don't have. Niggas really don't give a
McDonald's.
I don't.
Okay, I think I understand.
We reconciling it together though. We think
they all qualify. They all qualify because they have pussy. That's other than that. Who qualifies? Out of 50 chicks, one may qualify if we're lucky to be our wife. Think about it. So most of them are not even qualified. Like, literally, if you open up the menu, bro, if this is a fucking menu, on both sides is penis. That's it. Ain't nothing else on the fucking menu for them. It's just fucking penis. It's nothing else. It's penis. And one chick will fucking pull a rabbit out of the fucking hat and get our last names. One chick.
I think the only women we should commit to is the ones that we get pregnant.
That's a whole other
by accident.
No. See,
why you ain't commit to the women you got pregnant?
Because I intentionally, in the society that we live in, where I know if I choose a good woman, I know they're gonna be the ones to get my kids. And since I always told myself I want to be the ones raise my kids, I had to learn the black woman tactic. You pick the weakest, the piece of shittest woman on the planet, and them the ones gonna give you the kids. This is what black women have been doing since I've been raised. She picked the thugs over all the good ones.
Your first statement was that you think we should commit to the woman that we get pregnant, but then you went on to tell why you didn't commit to the women you got pregnant.
Because I'm trying to negotiate and be compromised, because I don't really believe in men to be committed, right? Even though I'm saying the mindset I got now, but I'm saying if you're going to commit to a woman, It should be the woman that you got kids with, not no woman that you got your kids over here, but this other woman that you don't got nothing with. That's not no marriage. I don't care how many rings you put on her finger.
How many BMs you got?
Huh?
How many BMs you got?
I got 2 and a few possibles.
You got 2 BMs right now. Pick one and commit then today, since you changed your mindset. Which one are you gonna commit to? The first one or the second one?
No, the mindset that I changed into is not being committed to nothing.
But you led off by saying you think we should commit to the woman we get
So again, Sean, I said it. I was trying to meet y'all halfway, even though I don't agree with everything that y'all saying as far as like with commitment. I'm saying if I'm going to meet Sean them halfway about committing to women, it's going to be the women that I got. So let's just say you pick a woman right now, and then you pick my baby mamas. I'd rather choose my baby mamas than some new chick. If I'm going to have to commit, why? Because my legacy is in the house. I get to wake up and see our kids. Instead of a woman, instead of an ordinary woman.
Yeah, that makes sense in a vacuum. If you're gonna marry somebody, marry the woman you have kids with. That makes sense.
Yeah, if I'm gonna commit, even though we've been doing it all wrong, including myself. But the way I'm moving now, I'm moving strongly on that.
It don't mess with what he's doing though. You got 2 choices, and then you said that you don't even believe that. You said it, but then you don't believe it. So it makes sense. But then you got 2 options, but then you don't believe it no more. So I don't know how it makes sense.
So I was trying to I was meeting y'all halfway. Me personally, I no longer believe in commitment. I think that's unnatural. I think every man I think it weakens the man to be committed to a woman. If you be around a woman all the time, you become to act like that woman. Birds with feather flocks together. That applies to everything and everybody. So if you hang with a woman 5 years, 10, 20, 40 years, you're going to pick up a lot of her traits. So I think that a man is weakened. The man that want to be cuddled all up, warm up under a woman all damn day, he becoming weak. I think that's a weak man. I think a man should always reserve himself to be the champion, I don't think that we was put on a planet to be up under no one damn woman. That's not no. I think we've been misled to believe that. It's in our nature. We cheat the most, right? Don't we cheat every time we do get a woman? We go fuck off, right?
Well, JP, when it comes to like having multiple wives or whatever like that, they commit to those multiple wives. It's still a commitment.
Yeah, because we was told in life that we was told by monogamists. We only operating from stuff that we never substantiated in it. Monogamy has never really worked out for people.
Well, no,
right? It's never been proven out. That's not the way God created. It's not natural. Real quick, let me say this right quick. A lot of men will get married and say, God brought this woman to me. If God brought you the woman, there's no such thing as cheating because you won't get turned on other women. If God actually the one brought that specific woman or man to you, there's no such thing as cheating because you won't have to worry about temptation because God delegated this person for you. And what's the purpose? If God delegated this woman for you, you won't get turned on by other women. I think it's natural for men and women to see interest in other people.
No. See, you talking about monogamy, and I gave you an example of multiple wives, which is not monogamy. When I was saying that polyam, I mean, I don't know if it's polygyny or polyamory, whatever. It's poly something, okay? Right. But what I was saying was that you talking about men are not meant to commit. Well, even with multiple wives, they are committed to those women. The commitment is still there, period. That's what I was saying. That's why I was trying to cut you off from going into your monologue or whatever.
So why do y'all complain about that men? Why do y'all complain about that men that are not committed?
I'm going off of your point. You talking about men are not meant to commit, and I'm just telling you that you're wrong.
Callie, think about it. Generations of men, it always have been women. These men do not want to commit. Multiple, not just a handful of women saying this. Generations of large numbers saying men don't want to commit. And I'm saying this, maybe it's in our nature not to.
Yeah. So the reconciliation point in the conversation is this, right? JP was saying if he had to answer the question hypothetically for the sake of conversation, he's saying marry the woman that you have kids with. Callie's saying, hey, polygynous men still commit to those women, whether it's 4 if they're Muslim or whether it's 10 if they go by the Bible based on what it says, verbatim, right? So that's kind of what's being conversed about now. I think the overarching point is monogamy. I think JP saying hasn't been working. If a man had more options, maybe the outcomes would be more favorable, right? Because polygyny, both the women and the man know and agree, right? Essentially. Let me get Cody. Cody, what's good, kid?
All right, what's good with y'all, big dog? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. How
Yes,
you?
sir. Yeah, what up, Cody?
I'm good. I'm good. What's good? First, Hemp, you know I love you, right, big dog?
Yes, sir.
Listen, big dog. Next time I'm in that goddamn chat and you shouting out all these goddamn randoms and you don't say shit to me, big dog, I'm gonna have to pull down on you, big dog.
Yo, I said what's up to you.
Nah,
Yo, my fault. My fault.
I'm fucking with y'all. Yeah, but shit, man. I think like, as far as like when it comes to what we saying, like the commitment part, right? I think like commitment is like you gonna commit when you make a commitment to a relationship, whether that be with your homeboys, with your girl, your football team. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Whatever that commitment be, and whoever you make it with, you recommit yourself to that commitment like every day. You know what I'm saying? You gotta recommit yourself to get up and go to practice every day, to run these laps, to engage with your partners. You know what I'm saying? To continue the camaraderie. You get what I'm saying? That's a commitment that you make, whether that be with anybody, regardless the sex. You get what I'm saying? But then when you come into a relationship with who you say you're gonna be with, big dog, you gotta be, for one, standing firm and knowing that that person you choosing is about you. You understand what I'm saying? And that person want to see your well being and see you do what the fuck you know how. You know what I'm saying, big dog? So anything going against that is anti me in my world. You get what I'm saying? So if you don't want to see me thrive, ain't nowhere in hell you want me to see you thrive. You understand what I'm saying?
When you have multiple women are willing to do that for you.
If you got multiple women willing to do that for you, and you willing to do that for multiple women, that's y'all business. See, I ain't that type of nigga who do all that old you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying it is though, big dog, is about still a commitment you got to be able to make to multiple women. You still got to be able to what you doing for one, do for the other, and you got to be able to maintain and sustain a a communication between all 4 or 7 or 8 of these motherfuckers. You understand what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
it regardless, you're gonna have to commit to something. It don't matter whether you say I'm committed to this one woman I'm married to, and I'm gonna recommit myself to this woman every day. And nobody can dictate what your commitment is to that woman, but you and that woman, big dog. So what your marriage look like, or what your motherfucking commitment look like, ain't gonna look like everybody else's.
You right. I am married to my baby mamas. I think men are married to their baby mamas. You didn't need a white man to put his dick print on a piece of paper.
But the other
Once you
niggas
give a
just
woman
borrowing them
a
though right now,
child,
right? They just borrowing them.
no, I'm saying when
I
you
don't
give a
know,
woman
cause
a
you
child,
ain't
y'all already married.
niggas ain't letting they wives just freestyle out here, big dog, and have X amount of niggas just humping on them yearly, rotating. Niggas ain't doing that shit with their wives,
I
big
think that's
dog.
false. I
I
think that's
wouldn't
false.
if I had two baby mamas. 3 baby mama, big dog. He ain't nowhere in hell I consider them motherfuckers my wife, and them bitches ain't around here.
But they is your wife because they got kids. I think the only marriage, the true
No,
natural.
them my babies, and them my babies. I'm gonna commit myself to my babies, big dog. You understand what I'm saying? Cause look, you ain't gonna make that commitment to them baby mamas that you claiming as your wife, cause you gonna still allow them niggas to fuck on them. Every other 6 months they got a different nigga, and then
Right.
at the same time you ain't finna motherfucking me pay them bitches bills.
Okay, let me ask you a question there. When it comes to baby mamas compared to a woman that you don't got no kids with, do you believe that you are more connected with the baby mama because the kid than the women that you just signed the paper with? I think it
Nah,
will be more connection because she's the mother of your children.
it all depends on the bond you build and the commitment you make with this person that you met outside of your baby mama. Cause guess what? Um, you can love your baby mama and have love for this motherfucker for going through and bearing the motherfucking pain of bringing your babies in this world. You understand what I'm saying? But that don't mean you love this bitch to the point where you want to be with it and gonna do for hell no, big dog. Ain't no
Well,
nigga going for that shit.
well, think about it. She gave you the ultimate gift that the other woman did not give you.
Yeah,
That's
but
and
that
that's
don't mean
and
shit.
that's fatherhood. She
That
gave you
don't mean.
fatherhood, whether you like her or not.
But
She
if that
gave you
meant so much,
fatherhood.
you would have goddamn me put a roof over this big head, big dog. You would have goddamn me fed this bitch, made sure that bitch was taking them prenatal vitamins and shit. You'd have made sure this bitch was goddamn getting her fat ass feet rubbed on. You understand what I'm saying? But you ain't
I
done
think
none
all
of
the
that.
job that a
So you
man
ain't
got
gave two fucks.
is
You ain't done none of that. So you ain't gave two fucks about this bitch being your wife or your motherfucking me. We together forever. You and that bitch ain't shit together. You ain't
when I
forever good.
Cody, when I think about a marriage, I think this being together stuff is brand new. When to me, being fruitful is having multiple sex women to have sex with. That's the fruitful part, and multiplying myself is that's the babies, right? I be strong. I'm stronger with numbers of me. So it's a reason when you said that you're not gonna let your baby mama have sex. It's a reason why they created DNA
No,
tests
I don't
because
care what my baby mama do. I
women
don't give
feel
a
this way.
damn what my baby mama do. My wife ain't finna be out here have niggas humping on her though, big dog, and she's supposed to be my goddamn wife. You stated that the bum ass baby mamas of yours is your wives because goddamn me they
Yeah.
gave you babies. But it's a nigga barring this bitch every night though.
And right, so when you say, I think that monogamy gave us entitlement. A lot of marriages from the
No,
monogamy.
manhood gave us entitlement. Manhood gave man, goddamn me, entitlement, goddamn me, what they like to call goddamn me possessiveness. Manhood gave that the motherfucking man, big dog. This shit that I own, that I consider mine, all that I survey around this motherfucker is mine, big dog. Don't violate it. Regardless, it be the
So,
bitch, that dog out there in their yard, my motherfucking grass, nigga. Don't violate, it's mine.
so who told you that a woman's supposed to your hypothetically? Who told you that this woman's supposed to only be with you when she signed a dotted line and said that she only supposed to be with you because God said not because she gonna get turned on from other men. So that's God said, you can have, but the white man papers say you supposed to only be with him. Who told you that that's supposed to be that way? Outside of
Big dog,
Eurocentric
fuck what the white
standpoint.
man paper say. Fuck what the white man paper say. Let's say that paper don't exist. But let's say does this
Monogamy don't
motherfucker
exist.
it's about this woman commitment to you though, big dog. It's about this woman commitment to you and how she view you, how she motherfucking idolize your movements, your motherfucking me aura, your goddamn me vibe, the way you goddamn me make this shit pop when you come in.
I
It's
understand where
about
you're
it's
coming
about her
from.
commitment to that shit. If she ain't committed to you in that way, you understand what I'm saying?
I understand where you're coming from. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to break down the psychology of the outline of this whole concept that we've been practicing. What you relaying is that from when they told us about monogamy, they told us that a woman's supposed to is and mixed it in with religion. A woman's supposed to be a virgin until she meet her husband, and that's the only man she's supposed to die with. So that's
But
one. Women.
look though, what you missing is this though, Jay Prince. Hold on, what you miss? Let me tell you this though. What you missing about monogamy is this, big dog. Once it benefits the goddamn less fortunate man, big dog, who ain't gonna be able to have goddamn me 3 and 4s and 10 women, big dog. You understand what I'm saying? That's who this shit benefits. That it don't benefit a nigga like me. I just committed to do some shit like that because that's who I am. That's what I wanted to do. You understand what I'm saying? But that shit benefit a nigga who gonna be the less fortunate in this goddamn me, what y'all call the contaminated dating pool. But the nigga who contaminating this goddamn pool ain't giving 2 fucks. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
Yeah, I'm hearing what you're saying, but what I'm saying is it's always going to be tools to go pass around, what we call the HOEs, right? So it's always going to be that. All I'm saying is you conveying from the Eurocentric marriage because you can't say forget the marriage without
You can't say forget the Eurocentric because you ain't never been outside of it.
right. And so this is what I'm saying. We don't have to continue to practice something that's hurting us. Don't you know a lot of women is on depressants because when they was married, they felt so depressed. They didn't feel happy to be in this situation. They just doing what they is told to do. That's one. And
That shit
secondly,
sounds personal as fuck for me,
so
though.
they won't get
I don't even
labeled.
get into
A lot of
personal
these
shit.
women was unhappy being in these marriages. And this is why DNA testing start today.
That's
DNA test
personal,
started
though.
around them days. They was unhappy in those 30-year marriages. That's why DNA test, a lot of them was sneaking off. So while you was at work, she was messing with the plumber. She was messing with the dudes that had to come to your house, cutting the grass. So a lot of our daddies,
It
we can
don't
say
matter. You think your daddy wasn't fucking, nigga? Hey, you think your daddy wasn't fucking? Hey, was your daddy fucking?
yeah, my daddy,
Well, what the fuck does he care? What your daddy knee deep in a bitch from the back, spitting in her asshole, he don't give a damn what your mammy doing, nigga.
But according to monogamy marriages, the woman ain't supposed to operate like a man. Women are more attracted to men that got a lot of women than the ones that don't.
They both violating the commitment though, nigga. It don't matter. They both violating the commitment. Your daddy ain't committed to now, motherfucker. He down in them bitches and moving around on them bitches.
Why is men and women doing this, right? Why? Let's understand this like the behavior now. So why
Cause
when
motherfuckers
men and
freaking,
women
niggas like to fuck. And on top of motherfuckers liking the fuck, on top of motherfuckers liking the fuck, these motherfuckers free with that pussy out here like that right now. So nigga, you niggas fuck the game up, expose your hand to the women. They see you niggas having all this motherfucking fun out here, and nigga, they want to partake in that shit.
So, but what I'm saying is, Cody, now we getting somewhere. So what I'm saying is, let's unpack the behaviors. This didn't start it today. Clearly, this is something that's naturally within all of us because this has been happening for generations. I would argue since we've been on the planet. So this having multiple sex partners, why are we having all these complaints? Most divorces end with infidelity, adultery. So why do we still have that behavior if it's not natural? I personally think
Ain't
we are
nobody saying it's not natural, Jay Prince. But the thing is this, Jay Prince, to goddamn me be able to tame the natural about you, like for me to be able to tame the goddamn gangster I am, big dog, and have these conversations on these panels and not go too motherfucking far, and to goddamn me be able to not goddamn me every motherfucker out here on these streets that goddamn me half-ass violate, just goddamn me straight up try to put a nigga back on his square. To not do that every motherfucking time, big dog, that's to motherfucking what you gotta be able to contain yourself. That's called being able to motherfucking to have some type of motherfucking me control. You get what I'm saying? Now to go into and commit yourself to one person is not saying that goddamn me it's natural to do. It's saying that you motherfucking me have some control and you motherfucking me able to commit to a certain thing. Be it that goddamn me, it ain't natural to goddamn me play football, but nigga, you got the motherfucking me control the goddamn me, go to practice and go play the goddamn game, big dog, and you goddamn me become good and you do your shit.
Yeah, Cody's speaking about discipline and making a decision. You know, he's saying he also said one thing that was maybe wasn't quite heard was monogamy really benefits most men because most men don't have a plethora of women to choose from. But he's saying regardless, men have discipline, right? The men that lead and want to be in charge, and therefore they make a decision every day to do what it is, whether it be marriage, whether it be a sport, whether it be working out, etc. That's his point, right? Essentially, I agree.
Having a child don't mean you got a connection either. People having kids with people they don't even know their last name. So to me, that was a
But
moot
okay,
point.
let me ask you a question. He knows. Have you, like, for me, for an example, I have had sex with multiple women unprotected, even the one I was in a relationship with. Never got pregnant. So, do you think that God decide who you gonna decide that? Because my baby mamas, I didn't even know her last name. I didn't even know who she was for real. And but God put two babies in it for me, right? So, do you think that God kind of make? I'm coming from a natural angle, and then instead of what we was told what we should be doing.
But you can't, Jay Prince, because I'm sorry, he knows. To your logic, that would mean that when a woman has a child, her womb now is coded to that man, and she cannot produce any other man's child. And we know that to not be true. So you're
No,
trying
I'm
to,
not saying that.
but you are, but that's how it's coming across. You're making it seem like there is no strength in committing to someone who has not birthed your child. You're trying to reduce marriage, being that this person chose this person. For whatever reason they chose them, life commitment, expansion of family. What you're saying is through the natural act of sex, biologically, this is superior to someone making conscious choice. And I'm saying,
Yeah,
I
think the child, real quick to add to just cookie. I think that I think the child is the ring, because through that child, her family become your family, and your family become her family through that child. I think the child is the ring that connects the man and the woman to death do his part. As long as that child's still around, you will always be the father of that child, and she will always be the mother of that child to death do his part. Naturally, quite naturally. Okay. So it don't matter if y'all got a good relationship with each other or not. No, since y'all created this child, you are the father of this child, even after that child's death. Y'all always gonna be connected to each other, no matter if you like it or not. When you have sex with her and you give her a baby and she birth your baby, y'all done combine that unit so powerful and strong. Can't no white man marriage top that. The people that created marriages also created divorces. But so you can tell that's man made. Well, having babies, that's God made.
When it comes to God, I think you're giving yourself too much
you
credit.
more substance with the woman.
He doesn't
Like,
make
when you got a
mistakes,
woman,
but he works in
if I get
mysterious
with
ways.
Carissa, right, real simple, I'm landing with this. If I get with Carissa, she my wife on paper. Callie is my baby mama. But me and Callie, what we got between each other has more substance, right? Yeah. She always be in my life, no matter if I am married to Carissa on paper. What me and Carissa got is really nothing. But we got a man telling us that we married.
No, but I think that's where your logic to me doesn't make much sense, because if that was the case, people can have children, natural. It's not really God or the God thing. It's the act of our human function, right? The moment that those people decide to give that child away, because orphanages do exist, do they now dismantle this dead family? Because basically what you're saying is through just having children, that is a permanent bridge, and it's superior to some choice. I don't believe that to be true.
If you give the child away, that child, I just talked to somebody that's found their adopted mother and father. That I don't care. You throw that baby a million miles away. That baby gonna come back and find mama and daddy. I don't care if the new foster mama is on the title of the kid. but that the birth mama and the birth daddy is still you and her when you get through.
But if that
That
child did not
conception was more about the child than you and the mother, though. So when you said God, God may have a future plan for that individual. You can still remove you and the mom out of it. Y'all could get in a car accident and disappear, and that
Right.
child still has its own life and its own value that it has to live. So you can't
That
just
both
keep
you
painting as a
created.
beat. The child makes y'all a unit. The child doesn't make you a unit. The value you place on you and that individual's relationship makes you a unit, and it bleeds down to
I
the child.
disagree with that. I could be a deadbeat daddy, and she could be a deadbeat mama. We are still the parents of the child. I don't. Yeah, you could. People can give you titles and labels. That's discretional, right? They labels don't mean it's a fact. What's a fact is, I don't care if I was a deadbeat, I'm still the daddy of that child. Got my gene. This my creation. That's her creation. I don't care if we was deadbeats, didn't beat the child, didn't feed the child. We created that child. Can't nobody on the planet Earth take that our parenthood away from that child, no matter how you look at it.
What you're talking about wouldn't be parenthood. What you're talking about is the creation of life, because parenthood means that you committed, means you made a choice, means you carried out your responsibility for the duration.
That's exactly you want to believe in the Eurocentric standard. They the ones who created that definition of parenting.
I don't think
I don't
that's
go off the Eurocentric. I'm trying not to live my life based on Eurocentric definitions and labels and titles.
I think that that's commendable, but I don't think you could do that successfully across all metrics of being human. You have to you have to at some point make conscious choices as an adult, as a man, and whether you want to.
Hey, Jay Prince. Hey, let me ask Jay Prince a question real quick. Hey, if you don't mind me asking, where you get that concept of when you make a baby, y'all married? Where you get that concept from?
It was one day I was looking at my baby mama, right, and even though I couldn't stand her.
Time out. Don't lie to me, nigga.
And then, no, I'm giving you I ain't gonna kick no lies to you. It's a different feeling from all of the women that I have been with. And when my baby mama, especially my last one, because I was there at the birth, when she first came and told me she was pregnant, the feeling, and when she gave birth to my child, every woman that I had before then that never had my kids did not give me this feeling for her. It was like this unconditional love, no matter she treated me right or not. I knew that this is my baby mama. This why a lot of baby daddies feel like they come mama. You know, I don't feel like what I'm saying is it's a feeling that you get. I don't care if we got a bad relationship. I'm still going, like, for example, I bought her cars even when she had her new men. I didn't care, but that's baby mama. Baby mama, I looked at damn near like mama, like my mama. It's this unconditionally love that you automatically going to get when she birthed your child. No other woman can do that. My baby mamas and them can get away with they damn near get away with taking a little bread from me. A woman on the street that don't have no substance, no kids with, you got another thing coming. So it's a different program when it comes to my baby mama compared to a woman that's not.
My baby mama leave me. She better figure that shit out, big dog.
But then
I'm taking care of my baby. I'm committed to my baby. I'm not doing that whole ass shit. Hell no,
if you
man.
don't have custody of your kids, if you don't have custody of your kids, right? Taking care of your child will be taking care of the mama as well. Because let's just say your mama, the baby mama, is homeless in a shelter, woo out the bam. You just focus on saying refuse, that baby gonna suffer as well.
I ain't gonna be fucking with no shit like that though. And if my baby mama end up in a goddamn shelter, she damn sure done lost them babies. She damn sure done lost them babies because we straight over here.
No, they don't take kids away from people that is in the shelter.
Yeah, what it is, what you're articulating, JP, is really proxy care or proxy love, right? Because your kid is associated with that woman, So by
Right.
proxy, you make sure she's straight, right? But if you were to hypothetically separate that kid from that woman, I wonder how many men would still do for that woman, you know? So I think a lot of it is often by proxy. Another thing that when we having sex with women that we don't know their last names, we don't know what type of medication they may or may not be on when they not getting pregnant. Also, ovulation scheduling really works. Like if you literally don't nut in your woman when she not ovulating, like she will not get pregnant. Like these are actual things. And then the last thing I heard that interested me was if Most High put us together with that woman, why is she able to get pregnant by other men?
Right. So I truly believe
Like, and
that.
they literally have kids by other men. You see what I mean?
Yeah, they
But
do.
he can't even go out
Both of
most
my
high
baby mamas got
concept because he
kids with
don't
other,
believe in it.
both of my baby mamas got kids with other men. And guess what?
So
That's a
if
win. That's a win for the woman
and there
because
might be
now my sisters them got kids by multiple men. So now that's a plus for the women because all the baby daddies, I don't care how many women we go out there and be with, we all come back to baby mama house and we look, let's just say, because most dudes don't get their kids full custody, right? Let's just say the kids have to be with the mama. You going back to that house because the kids there. You're gonna make sure you gonna break bread. Let's say we got all us men got kids by Cali. She got all our kids at the house.
Kelly,
We come in there every first of the month and on some
I'm the
bread.
first baby dad, Kelly. I'm the first baby dad.
I'm the third
I'm
baby
the
daddy.
But you know what?
Hey,
You know
almost
what?
passed
You
the
know what?
torch.
You know what? You know what? You know what that? But you know what it then you know what it flips on his head though? Who's the leader, right? Because now she's in control of all those men. Those men are doing for her. So now it flips men being the leader upside down because now she leveraging all those men either against each other or for her specifically. You know, so
How
now it
did you
flips
ever
that.
against each other? We all take care of our own kids. We don't
Well,
like I'm
no,
we
not
all
you
got
can
kids.
think about it. Think about it, right? From what I know about you, you don't seem like no stingy nigga, right?
Right.
So if we got all kids by some woman, not Callie, okay, and my kids is over there, you gonna buy at least every one of them niggas a double cheeseburger. Is all I'm saying.
You gonna do the same when I'm not there.
Exactly. So now that's what I'm saying. She got all these men pouring into all her kids, regardless of who
Uh,
kids they are. She on top of that situation.
Now we can
I,
say that's about who
And then we
leading, or we
sharing
can say
her.
that's
That's
about
right. You know what I mean? Go
you
ahead.
know how it could be about who leading, or it could be about who the stupids, who being played on, who allowing themselves to be played on. Cause in the real world, motherfuckers is being played on. They ain't speaking about leadership and goddamn me followers. You get what I'm saying? The congregation. That ain't what they speaking on. Motherfuckers is being played on out here, and they allowing themselves to be played on. Cause look, ain't nowhere in here I'm gonna be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like nigga. Tell a baby dad. You hear me? That's why I
we
picked
did it
number one out the
already,
gate.
Cody.
Hey, I ain't gonna be number 6 nowhere in here unless I'm goddamn me 2 shakes from I mean, you know that word. Yeah.
Cody, I think that's false because we doing it already, right? Most of these
I
women,
don't
this is why I
smoke
don't
weed,
believe
nigga.
that.
Don't put me in that car. I got
Hold
my
on,
own car.
let me substantiate why I say that. This not like the Bible days when women was virgins, right? When we talk about wives back then, wives we married women that was damn near virgins.
Right.
Most of these women, by the time we get to them, they got 100 bodies. They could have been pregnant, but even now, since they got a thing where they can go delete the babies, most of these women got a lot of baby deletions under their belts. But when we get to these women, most of these women have had many sex partners. We might be number 1,000 by the
You
time
worried
we
about
get
the
to that.
wrong shit. Hey, in a minute, most of these women ain't gonna be women, nigga. They gonna be niggas with dangerlings, ex dangerlang holders, nigga, and you niggas gonna be running up in them. So you better pick one.
But what I'm saying is this is the only option. I think men
Wow.
I
not
take all the
name
woman shit they got that
Wow.
come with a woman.
some
Long
women,
tail come with a
that
dangling.
Wow. Wow.
name some women that we're gonna get that's damn near virgins. Most of these, I will argue, I will put my neck out there and say, all women, by the time we reach to them, they gonna have at least 50 to a few. I'm not gonna put no cap on it because
Yeah,
they
if
got
you
a lot
wait
of.
till the bitch 63 years old and try to marry her, yeah, you damn right. You nigga letting these bitches stay outside out the dog, after the street light come on all these years and then hollering about, man, my daughter ain't never fucked. No, nigga, she been out past the street light for 2 hours past the street light for
What age
5 years straight. This little bitch doing something. You think you
what
gonna
age
leave this woman out here? You think you gonna leave this woman out here from 15 to 35, and she gonna fuck 1.5 nigga? Well, I ain't really. He was in there for like 2 minutes and got
man,
out. That's what you
we just
actually
killed
think.
this whole
Y'all
argument,
letting them
Cody.
stay out here too long, big dog. Now she got a piece of my personality. She checking shit when she see shit.
Right?
She got a piece of Sean personality. Cause y'all letting these bitches stay. I mean, these women. Excuse me, ma'am and ma'am. Y'all allowing these women to stay out here too long, big dog, and play. So now that's either gonna be I'm gonna blame it on her because I made it to her late, or I'm gonna blame it on me because nigga I ain't shit and get off the motherfucking pot, big dog.
And that's what I'm saying. So now you just killed all these men arguments because we round at 35, 40 age and plus, right? So the women that they looking for is already ran through. Most of these women are ran through. I would say all these women, even if they want to admit it or not, they ran through. So what
But
age should we get
it
these
depends
women
on how you what you consider ran through though, big dog. Because look, you know, and then you ain't gonna put all these goddamn women in America. Damn sure not the black women in America and one goddamn bucket, big dog. I don't play like that. Now look, I recognize bitches and hoes, and I know it's women out here, and I know it's bitches and hoes, and I
So
like
what
to
women
goddamn
is virgins
separate.
at our age? What women
Huh?
that you know that what women that you know I will give them at least probably like 3 sexual partners. What women that you could count on that all these men that looking for these virgins, right, at 40, 35, could you bring up some women that's virgins
These
at our
niggas ain't
age?
looking for no virgin. They just talking, man. They don't want that shit. It's too much. They got to teach the
I mean,
bitch
we
how
gotta
to
settle
do
for
this
it.
and that. They don't want that shit. They want a motherfucker that
I
know
think
what to do
I
already,
think
but
it's
I can tell her what I
unbelievable.
like. Hey, add that in there. Hey, you think you can twist around for me real quick? She know what to do already, but I can add my little shit in and scratch on the motherfucker like him be doing on Friday. You feel me?
I think we settle for that because there's these women is not doing that. If men can find some versions, if see, we've been under
Niggas
the
don't
act
want
for
no
so long.
virgin,
Of
man.
just a
No
hoe.
nigga that ain't no
We
virgin don't
got a
want no
jungle
virgin.
between hoes. We got to put rings on hoes now. That's a
Hey,
fact.
JP, we
A
got
woman
some. JP,
sex partner.
we got some super chats to read, bro. Let's read the super chats.
She making you that nigga sandwich.
Yeah, if you don't never tell that bitch how you like yours, you better speak up with your sorry ass. Weak. You niggas weak.
Hey,
Bitch
Cody,
can't feed me the same ice
so you
cream
might-
that came out. It was all in the freezer. I don't want that shit, bitch.
hey, hold on, y'all. Hold on. We got to read these super chats. Shout out to Ashton, man, for the 199. My hoe's mine till I say it's time. Damn. Ashton again. Ain't no we all doing that, JP. Mr. HD with the $2 said, not Cali. Building, dropping the dub again. Shout out to LI. LI, man, you drop another dub, man. You know, we can get some 40-woody, man. You know what I'm saying? That $40 you did. Hey, he said, Cody for hood president, man. Good to see you, OG.
Perfect.
AR Spitty in the building with the $5 said, a few possibles? JP, god damn. Anthony Dub 73 with the $5 says, think of one of the strongest men in the Bible, Samson. The brother fell behind some goddamn box. Damn. Anthony W right back with the 10, man. The salt buck, man, said, what's good, brothers and sisters? Let's be real about the females in the garden. The Most High gave Eve everything she needed, and it was not enough. Damn, Eve. Damn. Shout
Perfect.
out to Melly Mel, man. Melly Mel in the building, man. He was a member for 18 months. Shout out to the homie Melly Mel. He says, enjoy the grind, but don't get grinded down. Pause. Shout out to Victim Olympics with the $5. Victim Olympics says, "Stop poverty pimping, JP. Goddamn, JP. Don't nobody care about that shit you spew. It's character on a food stamp application. Goddamn.
It's resources.
Shit. Shout out to Zeke, man. Man, with the 20 balls. Zeke says, "Lock the door, Hamp. Likes a dumb low, man.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on."
Perfect.
Shit like that. Shit like that.
Said, "This is my penance for forgetting to hit the like button.
Shit like that. Shit like that.
Shit like that. The rest of us
Shit like that. Shit like that.
great
Shit like
sport
that.
for having this conversation. Every salute for everyone, keeping it peaceful and respectful."
Perfect.
Man, Smitty right back with the 10-piece, man. Smitty said, "What up, though?" DJ Hamp. Shout out to Smitty.
Yo, what's popping, kid?
Ashton right back. Caressa is on fire. What's good, everybody?
Perfect.
Shout out to Leslie, man. Leslie in the building, man. Member for 19 months, man.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like
Hamp, your ability to gather all these types of personalities together is a dope sight. Salute as always. Salute.
Perfect. I love you, kid. Good to see you, man. Appreciate you.
Red Pill Ranger in the building with the $5. She want a traditional provider, man, but is traditional about her life. She got someone else kid and she don't even clean. I'll be the bad guy. Damn, Red Pill. Shout out to Mr. HD in the building again with the 5-piece, man. Mr. HD said CT need to start doing some skits. He has great material for satire and troll comedy. Certifiably hilarious. Shout out to C Rich in the building with the 5-piece, man. JP impregnate women so he can stay in their business. Sheesh. Damn, JP. God damn.
I mean, I'd rather be a broke guy with a lot of kids than a rich guy with no kids.
Hey, fuck all that, JP. You can buy kids. Look, hey man, look. No, I'm sorry. No, that didn't sound right. I'm sorry. Pardon the body. Hey, shout out to Planet Fitness with the 5-piece, man. JP hasn't accomplished anything but chaos and kids. He hasn't claimed yet. He puts pride in the only thing he's good at, making babies, because that's free. Sheesh. Tough crowd, JP. Tough crowd, man. Shout out to that dirty South House.
I'm so glad you didn't read that shit. What the Hey, not on this episode. What are y'all talking about? That's wild. Go ahead.
I didn't even see it. Shout out to Big Hink in the building, man, with the 2-piece, man. Hink says JP loves the mentally special women. God damn. That's
perfect.
Great show. Hey, so we're gonna get final thoughts, man, on the topic, the dating game, expectations, foundations, expectation, miscalculation. We'll start with you, True Table. What you got for us, man, to end us on out?
Nah, solid show. Love the perspectives. Just keep building on it. I think that we're continuing to be edified. Shout out to JP. I don't know if y'all caught it, but his vernacular has expanded since he's came up in these spaces. I heard him using SAT words tonight. I'm proud of my brother right there. So, but thanks for having me up, Hamp. I appreciate it. Y'all be easy.
Regular.
All right, True.
Salute.
Cody.
Which way you going?
You go, Cody.
What's good, man? I want to say, if y'all don't mind me saying, on the young man side of the game, big dog, y'all playing a game that y'all control and y'all can win at any time you want to, big dog. You understand what I'm saying? It's just you got to know that though. You understand what I'm saying? Man, you got to know that. You got to know where you stand in life and what you standing for, on and against, big dog. You understand? And you can beat a lot of this shit. You got the goddamn me control in your hand. You know what I'm saying? But like with that expectation shit, let me tell you, big dog. Fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? I think that shit fake. It's bullshit to me. I think if you play baseball and you go up to the motherfucking me plate expecting a curveball, your ass gonna strike out every time because this nigga just gonna throw a bunch of bullshit at your fastballs and fuck you up. You hear me? So go up there and hit what you see and try to knock that motherfucker out the park, big dog. You understand what I'm saying? Hey man, can't nobody beat you but you, and you holding yourself back every time you don't motherfucking step up. That's all, big dog.
JP.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
Yes, sir. Your final thought?
So I would say, especially for the ladies like Carissa in general though, your worth as a woman to a man, understand you got two values. You got a value of society. That's where you can brag about your money and your income. But then you gotta, if you want a man or whatever, you got a value, you got a standard to meet with them as well. And that's never gonna change. That standard never will change. A man wants a beautiful woman. He like the energies that he loves the energies that a woman bring in her fertility. If you cannot provide that, you pointless. You don't hold no values, no different from a broke man. The same way you can say that I'm broke, I can say that you not valuable. You don't add up. You don't measure up what a woman should offer a man. Your dollar bill for a black woman compared to a white woman, your degrees was used to weaponize against where the white women, other races of women used to help build their families up. It's two different type of attitudes with the degree levels of each woman. And so I wish black women will take a step back and analyze all of the other races of women who also got degrees, but they still at home with their husband and their kids that they actually had kids with. When you look at the black women in America that got these degrees and either single, got stepdaddies, nobody don't want to be around them. Nobody. And if you looking for a man that's making a lot of money, your $100,000 ain't gonna be nothing to him. So the only man you will qualify for is a nigga like me that's willing to use you. That's it.
Cali.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
Great show, minus the 30 minutes that I missed. Um, whatchamacallit? I would say that the value of a man is more than his dick and his wallet. However, he has to also value himself as more than a dick and a wallet. To say that the wallet doesn't matter, I think would be incorrect. However, I would say I can't speak on the six figure earner bracket because that's not me, even though I grew up in that kind of household. But if you're going to go ahead and you are going to produce children, you have to have the means to be able to take care of them and to be able to provide a comforting lifestyle for said children and that woman that you are supposed to be provisioning over. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you want that kind of submission. um Other than that, that's all I got off the dome. You guys take care, and I will see y'all tomorrow.
Be nice.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like
Yeah,
that.
I kind of came in a little late. But yeah, I think it was a good topic. It's usually the only topic that people talk about anymore. So I mean, yeah, it's the same conversation every time. I always say the same stuff. So I think yeah, I think it's been good. But great show. Have a good night, everybody.
He knows.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
No, this was a dope show. Shouts to Carissa for taking the heat and did your thing. I'll say overall, stop leading with your degrees, and for men, stop trying to lead with your money. Stop being simps, man, for these hoes, man. We all know it's fucking up the game. And these women, stop overvaluing yourself like you the hottest thing walking, because you know coochie a dime a dozen. outside of that, man, stand on your square, man, and commit to your purpose. Pretty much, everything gonna work itself out.
Perfect.
Carissa.
Perfect.
Oh, I'm back in the hot seat again. So I agree with everyone else. It was a great topic. And, I would just like to end on I know I'm not for everyone and everyone's not for me. I know my value. I know what I bring to the table. And in terms of the provider conversation, again, I'm just going to leave you guys with I think there's nothing wrong with a woman who has qualifications and who she wants to date. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, I'm not for everyone and everyone's not for me.
Perfect.
Man, shout out to everybody who came through, man. Y'all made this a very entertaining show. I know it, went around the corner and down the street from the intended topic, but I do think we got a lot of that topic out of the way in the beginning, and this was entertaining. So for the guys, man, stop being a pay pig, man. Stop letting these women control y'all finances, bro. Also, man, get you a woman that's getting to it, man. Fellas, man, don't be afraid to get a woman that's getting some money, man. Life is better, man. It's better, All right, get you a generous woman. Hey, and DM me, man, if you want to get coached on how to get you a generous. No, I'm playing.
School account.
Perfect.
I think we were right on topic, right? Honestly. And when I initially hear be nice's sentiment, I understand it. And I want to disagree. But he's on to something in regards to the relationships. And we talk about how people position themselves when being courted or dated. And I think the place where we landed mostly on this is the expectations and the miscalculations. We continue to articulate expectations that aren't agreed upon, obviously, with either side. And we keep hearkening to them saying, this is what I want and this is what I'm going to get, right? But the expectation isn't agreed upon. So we're just getting further apart. I want us to see if we can assess that, the fact that we keep saying the same things and we continue to be unsuccessful, right? And then also we are making miscalculations about phrases, that we use often, sex, silence, and sandwich, equally yoked, and etc. We frankly, what are we basing any of these things that we want or desire on? Right? Who does it benefit? And if it doesn't benefit both parties, is it necessary? But I think we are making miscalculations, but it sounds good to the ear of the people who are the same gender, so we can keep on making the same calculations. But again, look at the state of our relationships. Look at the state of our culture. We have to make some reassessments because this equation isn't going how it should go. Right? We're going to miscalculate ourselves into the dirt, hence 2053. The quickest way to transfer wealth and the quickest way to wealth, it hasn't been disproven, is still marriage. So I just want us to assess what our expectations are and how we're calculating because we're not doing well. So that's what I took from it. So be nice, I agree. But when I'm looking at the title and I frame it like that, I got even more from today than usual. You know what I mean? Shop, what up?
I appreciate HAMP and Sean for allowing me to get this topic off pause. Hey, Carissa is definitely our VIP for the Soupa experience. So it ain't the heat, it ain't the hot seat, it's the heated seats. You know what I mean? We got heated seats. You can control about the temperature the way you like. So we appreciate you coming up and always kind of helping us keep that balance because that was the intention for the show. We want to make sure all voices can be heard. I think it's important, as I'm saying, just adding on to that. Like at the end of the day, we the adults in the room. We got to continue to have really tough conversations with each other because the baby's watching. And like him talks about 2053, like we got to be the ones that are the stewards for our community. So I hope we continue to look in the mirror and have these conversations. The finger point not really getting us anywhere. So I want to make sure we have a conversation that forces us to kind of assess ourselves as individuals, and then we can collectively have these conversations, man. So I look forward to the next one. Man, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. Be safe, and Hemp got the rest of it.
Shout out to Bev too for coming up to support Caress.
Shout out to Bev, my bad. Shout out to Bev too, man.
Sure.
One more thing, man. Salute to everyone who super chatted. All of the, the commentary that's going in the chat. We really appreciate the support. We still building it. This is new for me. Hemp is a mastermind at this. So I'm pretty sure this conversation will come around again because I think we got to keep having them. As B Nice said, yeah, they are continuous, but I'm realizing we ain't quite there yet. We haven't gotten to a point where we can get off of it yet. So we got to keep finding different angles, different avenues to get us to say, okay, y'all, we get it. We got to do something different. We ain't quite there yet, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why it's fruitful.
Yep.
Yo, man, most high willing, I'll see you tomorrow for the HQ. You know what I'm saying? It's Mr. Fantastic so-called birthday weekend, so ain't no telling where he at. That nigga name is Fantastic San Diego. Oh, y'all old. Y'all know who that is. So, so we should get it cooking tomorrow, though. No question. The night is still decently young. I'm in Central. I know True on the West Coast. So if you're not doing nothing, you halfway watching the Steelers game, jump into the Discord to continue the conversation. We keep on grinding, man, for sure. I'm really proud of y'all today. This was a dope show. I appreciate 350 people came through and we just posted the show, a few hours ago, right? And we don't even have a real time slot for this show yet. So I think it means a lot, and there's something to be said for the weekends. I never stream on the weekends that much, but I tend to like it just that the kids be running around and all that. You know what I'm saying? So, but good is good. I love y'all. I appreciate. Make sure we don't have any more super chats real quick. Shicey with the $2 says, "Why JP ain't give no advice to Cali? For what?
Nigga, for what?
I already said it, Cali. I just said that." Four with the $10 says, "Great show. Salute to the bros. Big dog Cody. Good work. Salute to Cody, man. Cody. I shouted him out in the chat. Man. Sad nigga. Great job, y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Be safe and do the right thing, man. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Amen. Yeah.
Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend. DJ Ham about to go live again. So hit the likes, my friend, on your way in. First off, salute the chat. And to all new cousins, welcome back. Heard you searching for the real. Well, this is where it's at. The latest topics and panels and brother, don't get sent to the bathroom. We got all the stats, too, back to facts in the morning or the afternoon. Tuesday, women's POV, 2 Fridays, there's a jamming tune. It's a community of real, and we better than the world news. This might be risky, I hope you know.